You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, there are concerns about short-term rental safety. This is after 7 people were arrested and police found drugs and guns at the property. We'll take you there. Plus, fans in the Music City are getting set for CMA Fest, but they're trying to have fun and be safe at the same time. We're going to tell you how police, as well as the city, are looking out for those going to concerts.
And we've been waiting for it all week long. Finally, a day where the humidity is down and we say goodbye to the rain, but we're not done for the weekend. I'm planning Saturday and Sunday storms.
Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning, just after 4 a.m. here on this very cool and comfortable Friday morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We do want to begin with some breaking news out of Robertson County. That is where more than 1,000 people are without power because of a crash. Now, according to Smoky Bar News, a commercial vehicle overturned on Mount Zion Road at Washington Road just before 2 o'clock this morning. Now, the Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation is reporting that nearly 1,300 people in that area are without power. Mount Zion Road is closed at this point. Right now, there's no word on any injuries because of that crash. We'll continue to keep you up to date as we learn more. We're also following breaking news this morning as Metro Police are now confirming that a crash happened with injuries. You're taking a live look here at Rosa Parks Boulevard at Jefferson Street. Right down the road here from the Fox 17 News studios, you can see where that tow truck is pulling away a tanker. Right there, you'll see the tail end of it. Actually, it's a cement truck. Okay, pulling the tail end of a cement truck away. Now, what we're being told about this crash is that one person was taken to the hospital from that particular scene. We're still trying to figure out exactly how this crash happened and how many other vehicles may be involved with this. Stay with us as we continue to provide you more details. Again, that live look from Jefferson Street near Rosa Parks, where a cement truck is being towed away after a crash that happened earlier this morning. We've got continuing coverage this morning at short-term rentals. Police say that the latest was a short-term rental over in North Nashville, where they had a case of where they found some things that are going to disturb some people. They say 7 people were arrested and charged with gun and drug possession. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live near that property with some of the details. Karen.
Good morning, Justin. People are questioning just how safe are short-term rentals. In the past, you might remember, we've reported on several crimes happening inside of them, including one shooting in May and another in April. Now, the latest is a crime that happened right here behind me on Napoleon Street. According to police, guns and drugs were taken from the suspects at a short-term rental. Police say 7 suspects were arrested on Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. They say a complaint led them to the short-term rental where they found 6 guns and at least 6 different types of narcotics. They say they then made arrests. They also say one of the suspects was a convicted felon and took off running after officers entered the short-term rental. They say he was caught pretty quickly. All 7 suspects were charged with drug and gun possession. They also say one of the suspects was charged with evading arrest. Reporting live in North Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
We have got continuing coverage of the CMA Fest with around 90,000 people expected each day of the fest. Not-for-profits are now working to make sure that country music fans have a fun but safe experience while they're in town.
Do you guys want water or sunscreen or phone chargers?
That is the sound of volunteers with the Red Frogs program. They started down in Australia, but the volunteer group has now made their way here to Nashville, down Lower Broadway this weekend, alongside with Metro Police and medical personnel. Now, Red Frogs works with the city to provide a safe space for people to stay hydrated, charge their phones, and they say this is really important for anyone who's had a little bit too much to drink, perhaps. There's also a first aid tent there at the riverfront, along with enhanced security personnel at almost every corner. So we want to hear from you. How many days do you plan on going down to CMA Fest? The people who are voting here on our particular board say none. The 93% of you, none. There's another 3% of you who say, yeah, maybe 3 days. Another 3% that says maybe just 1 day. But most of you say, I'm not going down there at all. If you want to chime in on our particular poll, you can do so by scanning the QR code right there at the side of your screen. You can also visit us on our X page at Fox Nashville.
I'm going to guess a lot of locals taking that page here out of their book and making that cast of that vote. And I'll tell you, Justin was driving around yesterday, and I think I saw more out-of-state license plates than I saw in-state license plates here around the Nashville area. Today, though, is the best day of the week so far. Temperature's going to be tolerable in the low 80s, no humidity. We have no problems when it comes to rain. Now, humidity's not gone for the whole weekend, pretty much just today. After today, it's going to come back into the forecast for us here for parts of Saturday and Sunday. The big thing here is timing weekend rain. When does it arrive? How strong would it be? Could it impact any of the outdoor stages or just your weekend plans in general? And we're going to really get into that. It's been flip-flopping a little bit over the last 18 hours as far as timing goes. So we'll get you the latest update of what I believe is really going to happen here for the weekend. But we're going to be all clear for code red no matter what. We have no chances for severe weather, and the weather's not going to be an impact to your morning drive. We're carefree to start off here in the weather department. We are nice. We have no dense fog. We have dry roadways. I'm going to give you a green light on my end when it comes to what could get in your way, getting up and out the door. But taking a look, they're hosing down last night and getting ready for round 2 later today. We're at 66 degrees on our way to 83 later on this afternoon. Justin?
Steer clear traffic. Let's get you out and about this morning to I-40. This is going to be I-40 at Donaldson Pike, excuse me, very close to the airport out there. As you can see, traffic there moving along without any issue. We're doing really nice out there so far. Things can get busy towards the airport. We know that to be a fact, but right now it is not causing a big deal as folks continue to stream into town for the CMA Music Fest. I know I saw quite a bit of out-of-town license plates down there myself. There is a crash on 24 closer to Harding Place. We're going to take you there coming up here in the next few minutes. Lowering prices in the classroom. Mid-state school districts are putting a priority on safety, and that means coming along with the price tag of around $900,000. Now, that money will go to security film to help keep glass from shattering if it was shot. Now, on Monday, the Board of Education unanimously approved to get that film for all schools. Lower-level windows will get that film, even at multi-level school buildings. A district spokesperson says that the film will hopefully be installed at all schools within 6 to 8 months. Well, coming up, a man died in police custody in Grundy County, and the TBI is now investigating. We're going to tell you what the community. Well, new this morning, the Grundy County Sheriff's Office says that a man has died while in police custody. Happened last month after a car crash and arrest. They say that back on May the 29th, Ronnie Ledbetter was involved in a single car crash, and first responders got there and he started to fight them at the scene. Now, police say that he appeared to be, quote, heavily intoxicated, possibly with drugs. Deputies arrested and handcuffed him. The sheriff says that Ledbetter fought deputies in the squad car, and they were trying to get him inside the jail. That's when he stopped breathing. Deputies used Narcan and CPR, but Ledbetter did die. The TBI is now investigating the exact cause of that death. New this morning, there's a silver alert in Nashville as the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is asking for your help to find this man right there on your screen. His name is John Hill Jr. He was last seen over on Albion Street around 5 o'clock yesterday morning. That's between Hadley Park and the campus of Tennessee State University. If you have seen him, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Boeing Starliner spacecraft was docked to the International Space Station following its big takeoff on Wednesday. Now, astronauts Butch Wilmore, who is from Middle Tennessee, and Sonny Williams safely arrived there at the space station yesterday. Wilmore and Williams were welcomed by the 7 other astronauts and cosmonauts that were already on board the ISS. The pair says that they are excited and ready to get to work.
These organizations are the epitome of teamwork, and it is a blessing and it's a privilege to be a part of it.
We're just happy as can be to be up in space, one in Starliner, on an Atlas V, and then here on the International Space Station.
Wilmore and Williams will spend 8 days on the ISS before coming back to Earth.
And right back here to ground level, we had a very active day yesterday, and we're gearing up for a very active weekend. 66 degrees right now. I've changed timing up a little bit for thunderstorms for your upcoming weekend. The new timeline coming straight at you.
Steer clear traffic gets us down to I-24. This is at Harding Place. A couple of lanes shut off while police. 4:14 is the time. A live look here at Lower Broadway, where it has that special kind of look, the CMA Fest look, as things are shut down there on Lower Broadway for around 3 blocks as we get ready for the biggest party that Nashville can put on. We have got the very latest on the big shows that are going to be on tap, plus where you can see some of our Fox 17 News talent down there on display, making sure they're having a good time as well. All that's coming up in a few minutes. Speaking of talent, the country music icon Dolly Parton was used to kick off the CMA Fest, and she announced a series of new projects. Dolly's always got something new going on, and that includes a new downtown hotel and museum. Now, Dolly broke the news at the Music City Center. Listen to the roar right there, to a packed house of people who lined up hours before the door opened just for the opportunity to see her. Now, in addition to the hotel that's going to be located at the old Baker Donaldson building at 3rd and Commerce, Dolly also announced a new line of wines, as well as a cookbook with her sister Rachel, and a brand new family album.
I'm really hoping that people are going to really just see how much talent there really is. Just like the Carter family, you know, everybody sings, everybody plays, and all that. So I'm just very proud of my family, like I'm proud of the Smoky Mountains.
The new album will come with a docu-series tracing the family origins to Europe and how they came over to East Tennessee. It will be called Smoky Mountain DNA. Well, the Tennessee Titans are in the thick of their mandatory minicamp, and it's giving us a better look at not just the new offense, but also the defense and how they are trying to build together. Now, still no pads out there for the Titans. That will come later in training camp in July. But we did see the team get to work on what's called 7-on-7 sessions. That's 7 members for both the offense and defense. They practice in the red zone very heavily, and that is where the defense got the edge over the offense with several passes being batted down, plus the interception. Yesterday, the offense was a lot sharper, according to their head coach, Brian Callahan. Even said the group responded well after getting a little beat up early on.
Offensively, we bounced back from a not great day yesterday in 7-on-7 in the red zone. Defense kind of kicked our teeth in, and then today they came out with some good energy, and our first set of 7-on-7 was much better. So good to see that.
More work to do for the Titans. 4 more practices starting coming up Monday.
4:17, look at your time here and also your temperature. We're starting off with temps that are in the 60s. We may drop into the upper 50s in some areas, especially out in the Cumberland Plateau. Crispy, cool, and comfortable compared to the last several mornings. The humidity is gone. We'll be at 73 degrees by the time we hit 9 o'clock, and then we're back into the low to middle 80s. We're not going to be as hot or as humid as yesterday was, not even close to it. So what to wear out the door? Whatever makes you comfortable and gives you a smile on a day where you're not going to feel uncomfortable because of the weather. So whether it's open-toed shoes, the sneakers, t-shirts, shorts, the summer dress, go for all of it. You're great. Getting out the door here this morning so far, nothing to worry about. There have been a couple of clouds that have been trying to stick around here and there. For the most part, we're good. 63 degrees at 5 o'clock, 61 at 6, and then back up to 63 at 7. So we're not even at our coolest point yet so far this morning. Loaded with sunshine for the afternoon. What are we looking at out at the airport? 73 at 9 a.m., 82 at 12, and then 84 degrees at 3 p.m. Weather going to be great here back home. Right now, though, 13 delays. Not much of that because of Nashville weather, so make sure you're checking your flight times. 66 degrees right now at the airport, no wind as far as the 7-day forecast goes. A few storms are going to be there on Saturday and Sunday. Percentages have gone down a little bit, and timing looking a little more opportune for outdoor activities. We'll look at that before we even get to 4:30 in the next Check Your Forecast.
Steer Clear traffic out there at 418, 419 this morning. Quick look here at I-24 at Harding Place. This is over in the Antioch area. We're dealing with a multi-car crash over there. Metro Police on the scene to try and make sure that everybody is okay. 2 lanes shut down as a result of that crash, though. As you make that drive into town, you can try to take Murfreesboro Road if you would like to steer clear. But in all honesty, you don't have to do it yet. The backup is not that big. It's still in the early hours here. You can't get by. Just be aware that it's out there. The U.S. is planning to send around $225 million in new military aid to Ukraine. U.S. officials tell the Associated Press that the package will include munitions for the rocket launchers, as well as motor systems, the other artillery rounds. It follows new directives that allows Ukraine to use U.S. weapons to strike certain Russian territory if forces there are attacking or preparing to attack. Ukraine is still forbidden from using long-range missiles offensively inside of Russia. President Biden is expected to meet with the Ukraine president in Paris, France, later today. Well, we are about a month away from the Republican National Convention that's set to go in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. But the Secret Service says it's still trying to get some of the security details ironed out for this particular event. Now, the convention is expected to draw in around 30,000 people, as well as large-scale protest. The RNC officials have raised security concerns. In March's Milwaukee City Council meeting, they voted to contain demonstrators to a specific yet-to-be-disclosed route. But several organizations argue the restrictions violate their First Amendment rights. The Secret Service says it is considering these factors and will have further details in the next couple of weeks.
Secret Service respects every American's First Amendment right to express themselves, and protests are nothing new to political conventions. Secret Service is working closely with Chief Norman and the Milwaukee Police Department, who are prepared to manage demonstrations so that groups can express their views freely.
Demonstrators are also planning to protest at the Democratic National Convention that will take place in Chicago. They have also voiced similar concerns. Chicago police say they are undergoing training and de-escalation, as well as First Amendment issues as well. Well, coming up, some baseball news as the Super Regional gets started over in Knoxville. We're going to tell you what's in store.
242-9000.
4:24 is the time happening today. The Tennessee Volunteers baseball team is facing a brand new opponent in their Super Regionals. When I say brand new, I mean they've never played them before at any point. They're taking on Evansville, Indiana. They are the Purple Aces. The two teams have never played each other before in the sport of baseball. Now, the team from Southern Indiana did upset number 16 East Carolina on Monday and is making their very first trip to the Super Regional. Today's game starts at 2 p.m. Central Time there in Knoxville. The teams will also play on Saturday, coming up at 10 a.m. And then, if necessary, they can play a third game on Sunday. It's the best 2 out of 3 here in this particular region. The college football season will be here before you know it, and that includes the ending of the college football season with the Music City Bowl. Now, the date for the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl was announced yesterday, so you can mark your calendars for December the 30th. That's when they'll play their game there at Nissan Stadium. It typically features a Big Ten team against an SEC team, but some teams from the ACC have also been involved with this game in the past, so we'll see who plays this year. Well, Nashville SC currently on their international break, and yesterday the club chose to spend their time helping to clean up parts of the city. The boys in gold teaming up with Nobody Trashes Tennessee. That is a campaign the state of Tennessee puts on, and they are helping to clean up communities around Geodis Park. Now, it's a great way to give back on their time off, according to the team. Their next match is set for June the 15th as they will take on the New York Red Bulls. Well, happening tomorrow, the Belmont Stakes are taking place up there at Saratoga Springs in New York. The winner and their trainers will get around $2 million. That is up from around $1.5 million last year. The post time is set for 5:41 Central Time.
Checking our forecast here. Yesterday was a little hot, a little humid. Not a perfect day today. We're getting rid of all the things we didn't like. Humidity, gone for today. Heat in the upper 80s, gone for today. We'll be at 79 degrees at 11 o'clock. Good afternoon to be out there for lunch. Just take a little walk outside for a few minutes. 82 at noon and then 83 degrees at 1 p.m. We are jam-packed with sunshine the entire day from start to finish. However, Future Track always has something up its sleeve for us here. So how does the weekend work when it comes to rain? Click the button once. This is all today. Nothing to worry about. Rain chances for the weekend have changed a little bit, so we're going to tap the brakes here as we go into tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. If you're north of the state line into southern Kentucky, the morning hours and early afternoon, the chance for a few showers that could be out there. Not worried about thunderstorms for the morning, but the afternoon, we could get a few specks of some yellows that move in. This is trending to be more of a north of the state line event now than it would be making its way toward Nashville, which would be great for everything we have going on downtown. Yes, that includes CMA Fest. And then overnight, Saturday night into Sunday, our timing has changed a little bit. This is holding everything off, and I truly do buy into this, that we're not going to start working into showers and thunderstorms until after midnight, which would mean that hopefully Nissan Stadium has the concert go on, people get out, and we're good to go. However, that also means Sunday morning, we'll now be waking up to some showers and storms to take you through the first half of the day.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get out the door this morning. I-24 at Harding Place. That is where we are dealing with a bit of a crash in that area. The tow truck has now arrived to try and tow some of those cars away involved with that crash there. Again, 24 at Harding as you make that drive into town. No need to steer clear. You can look back behind it yourself. There's no backup. You're okay. You can get past this. We'll continue to follow it, let you know when it completely clears on Fox 17 News this morning. Well, coming up, the search for a man that police say robbed a Springfield gas station. We're going to show you these pictures yet again. Plus, there are concerns about security when it comes to the safety of short-term rentals. This is after the recent arrest of several people connected with a short-term rental in Nashville. We've got the details.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parents.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
On Fox 17 News this morning, a man is now charged with driving under the influence in the heart of downtown Nashville. We'll take you there.
Short-term rental concerns continue for people here in Nashville following a crime that happened inside a short-term rental that led to 7 arrests. Coming up, I'll have all those details.
Our forecast this morning starting off calm, clear, and cooler, but it doesn't last the whole weekend when the humidity and storms return coming up in a few minutes.
And steer clear traffic. We continue to watch that crash at I-24 at Harding Place on the south side of the Antioch area. We'll continue to look at that and tell you when it's completely cleared up and ready for all lanes to be open. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 4:30 here on this very cool and comfortable Friday morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We do want to begin with Operation Crime and Justice, as Spring Hill police are searching for the man they say robbed a gas station at gunpoint. Police say that the man was caught on camera yesterday afternoon inside the Murphy's Express gas station. He used a handgun to force a worker to hand over cash. Spring Hill police say if you see this man or have any information about the robbery in this case, you can see the gun right there. You're asked to call the number right there on your screen. Metro Police have arrested a man accused of DUI. They say he was doing burnouts very close to the CMA Fest area. Police say that the man is right here, 51-year-old Mark Geist, who performed stunts on 4th Avenue at Broadway. This happened Wednesday night. Officers pulled him over. They say he had slurred speech and admitted to drinking alcohol. They say he was also driving on a revoked license. Let's get to Greg Bobus. He's got the very latest look at your forecast as you get out there. A much cooler start than what we've seen in previous days.
That it is. It's already cool. Only going to get cooler over the next couple of hours. Not going to be shocked when I show you the big temperature map here in about 10 minutes that we see a few 50s popping up. No humidity, and everything you see down there that's just wet on Broadway, just cleaning up for the next day of CMA Fest. Wash or wait. I would say yes today, go for it tomorrow. If you're feeling lucky, you can go for it. Likely dry if you're south of the state line, meaning if you're in southern Kentucky, I would not wash the car on Saturday or on Sunday until very late in the day. So today's your pick, and today's the day I would do it if you're going to. Here's what's going on with CMA Fest here for the weekend. Rain chances, timing is key. They're going to be out there, but right now we've shifted the timelines where they may line up very nicely for many of the big outdoor events. Many dry hours, below average high temperatures. We'll look at it in Future Track. We'll give you your 7-day, and we'll work you through hour by hour of each day to let you know what you can expect. But things have improved just a little bit heading into the upcoming weekend, and today should be great, sunny, and in the mid-80s.
Steer clear traffic out there at 433. Quick look here at I-24. This is at Harding Place in the Antioch area. You can see their traffic moving along without problems. We're doing fine, other than a couple of crashes there on the shoulder. But again, traffic can't get by without much of a delay. Minor delay at best, making that drive in from Antioch. But there's tow trucks on the scene, so they're going to be working very hard to get this cleared out of the way here shortly. We'll continue to follow things with Steer Clear Traffic live and local with you through 9 this morning. Continuing coverage, rather, on a crime that happened at a short-term rental. Police say that the latest short-term rental involved with the crime was over in North Nashville. That's where 7 people were arrested on charges with gun and drug possession. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live near the property to tell us exactly what happened.
Good morning, Justin. This is part of a bigger issue we've been seeing. Now, behind me here on Napoleon Street, Metro Police say guns and drugs were taken from 7 suspects at a short-term rental. Police say the 7 suspects have been arrested as of Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. They say a complaint led them to the short-term rental where they found 6 guns and at least 6 different types of narcotics. They then made arrests. Safety in short-term rentals is becoming a problem from some people in Nashville after the last 2 months we've reported on 2 separate shootings. One in Midtown, short-term rental last month, and another at a short-term rental in North Nashville in April. And over the years, Fox 17 News has reported on more crime in short-term rentals. We reached out to the mayor's office to see if they plan to do anything about safety in short-term rentals, and we haven't heard back yet. Of course, it's still early. Reporting live here in North Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Well, coming up, a Tennessee representative jumping out of a plane. We're going to have more on the veterans who fought on D-Day. And later this hour, a controversial radio and internet host could be losing his assets. We're going to tell you what the court judge determined in the case of Alex Jones. Fox 17 News is your only local news source, live with you. .38 is the time. Several members of Tennessee's congressional delegation were in France yesterday for ceremonies that marks the 80th day, since D-Day took place. Now, that was the beginning of the end of World War II as thousands of American soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, as ammo rained down on them from the cliffs above. And they were not alone. There were several other countries there at D-Day as well. The Allied forces really are the ones who stormed the beaches. Of course, the United States really did lead the effort. Thousands of soldiers are now buried there at an American cemetery that is just above the beach. 7th Congressional District Representative Mark Green, who is a retired Army surgeon, says that freedom is never free.
But most of the time in history, when a country wins a war, they keep the land. And all we've ever asked for is a place to bury our dead. And I want to thank France for giving us this land place America's sons and daughters here to always remember the sacrifices paid for freedom.
80 years ago last night, members of the 101st as well as the 82nd Airborne Division parachuted their way behind enemy lines. Congressman Green parachuted yesterday to commemorate the occasion.
4:40 our time, taking a look at the forecast, getting moving today and having less to worry about than yesterday. It's Friday, we're almost into the weekend, and maybe you want to jump into the pool later and just kind of relax, take a load off. It's been a week, we've had a ton of rain, we've had flooding. None of that in the forecast today. 77 degrees temperature at 10 o'clock, 84 at 2 o'clock, and we'll hold right near that spot all the way through 5. Loaded up with sunshine, load up the sunscreen. We're almost at the strongest UV index point of the entire year, so it's not going to take long to start getting a sunburn for the next month and a half or so. Or maybe you want to be a little more productive first. No one to mow. Today's the best day, honestly. Low humidity, temperature's not as hot, and no rain. We're going to have some showers that move in. Depending upon where you're at, tomorrow looks a little more opportune for rain for some than others. And then your Sunday morning, trending a little bit more on the showery to stormy end of things. Not washing out either days. And honestly, we look at Saturday, if you're south of the Kentucky state line, you may end up with no rain whatsoever. We'll look at that in future track coming up as we go into our next check of the forecast.
Circular traffic at 441. Quick look here at what we're dealing with at I-24 at Harding Place. That is where we are dealing with the crash on the shoulder of the road. Metro Police are there. So is a tow truck to try to get some of those cars out of the way finally. Once they do, all lanes will be reopened and you'll be good to go there. Coming in from Antioch, this was a multi-car crash. Has been with us for over an hour now. We'll continue to follow things, let you know exactly what else we find with circular traffic as we're live and local with you through 9. As you can see, Metro Police and others starting to leave that scene. Looks like we still have a tow truck that's there along with an 18-wheeler that was involved in this crash as well that still needs to get out of the way. Well, coming up, Israel's Prime Minister will be speaking to Congress. The date for that particular speech has now been set. 4:44 here on your Friday morning. We are following some breaking news out of Antioch this morning. That's where crews are on the scene of a house fire. Let's take a look live there on the scene. This is going to be Countryside Drive. According to the dispatch, the fire broke out around 3:30 this morning. We're still working to find out whether or not anyone was hurt. We'll continue to take you there. As you can see, the large scale damage as a result of that fire. That fire is located there just off of Murfreesboro Pike, off of Una Antioch Pike there in Richards Road. As we take it full, you can see the fire department still spraying down the hot spots there in the garage area of that home. The home badly burned as a result of that overnight fire. Again, still working to find out the details on whether or not anyone was hurt, but there is certainly property damage in the house. Boy, looking at that, it looks like it may be a total loss. We'll continue to follow that and let you know whatever else firefighters tell us about it. A divided Congress sets a date to hear from Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This is in the middle of some people who are rejecting his visit here to the United States. Now, the Israeli Prime Minister is expected to address a joint meeting of Congress that should happen on July the 24th. The Congressional House and Senate leaders signed a letter extending the invitation to Prime Minister Netanyahu to speak. Opposing members and pro-Palestinian protesters could disrupt Netanyahu's visit. President Joe Biden has proposed an agreement to end the fighting between Israel and Hamas. Netanyahu says no ceasefire will be signed until Hamas meets certain conditions. Right-wing conspiracy theorist and internet host Alex Jones has agreed to liquidate his assets to pay the Sandy Hook families. Now, Jones owes more than $1.5 billion for publicly insisting that the Sandy Hook mass shooting from a few years ago was a hoax. The family sued Jones for defamation and emotional distress. And in 2022, a jury found him liable. But the families have not received a penny from Jones as of yet. The liquidation is part of a Chapter 7 bankruptcy proceeding involving Jones' personal assets. It means that Jones will lose control of his InfoWars company. He founded that back in 1990 on the internet as a way to spread conspiracy theories and other thoughts that he has. Major companies involved in artificial intelligence growth are now going under the federal microscope. Now, we're talking about companies like Microsoft, ChatGPT, as well as OpenAI and chip maker NVIDIA. They are expected to be investigated by the United States Department of Justice as well as the Federal Trade Commission, according to an anonymous source cited by the Associated Press. Now, President Joe Biden has pushed for tougher looks into possible monopolistic practices. The FTC would review firms getting privileged access for undermining fair competition. Well, listen to this. The Hall of Fame member, we're talking about rocker Jon Bon Jovi and his bandmates are celebrating the grand opening of Jon Bon Jovi's brand new Broadway bar. It's called JBJ's. Now, Jon Bon Jovi set up the shop in the Old Merchants restaurant located on the corner of 4th and Broadway. The new bar features 5 floors, 3 stages, and 2 different rooftops overlooking Broadway. Jon Bon Jovi says that he plans on working with the mayor to try and give back to the city.
You know, in our charitable world, I have 4 soul kitchens and have built 1,000 units of affordable housing. So I want to make sure that when we find the right project with the mayor, who I've been in conversation with, you'll know it.
Well, Bon Jovi has a new album called Forever, which is out right now. The lead singer says it was inspired by his recent vocal surgery and a renewed appreciation for making music. So, Jon Bon Jovi with the new bar. We know that Morgan Wallen has his brand new bar up and going. Everybody is flying on all cylinders here for the CMA Fest, which is welcoming in 90,000 people a day. The question is it a good day for a drink on the rooftop bar out there?
It's a great day. Much better than yesterday. Yesterday wasn't bad, but it was real hot. It was hot and humid from kind of start to finish. Today, we get rid of the heat, we get rid of the humidity. Also, I hope that Jon Bon Jovi's bar, that it's 5 stories, that the 3rd story of it's called Halfway There. Otherwise, you just kind of missed out on an opportunity right there. Taking a look here. Rain chances for today, tomorrow, and Sunday. All timing is just the key for everything. Today, nothing but waking up tomorrow morning. There'll be a few showers that do begin to build in for a few of us. Many dry hours for both days, your Saturday and your Sunday. Below average high temperatures, we'll take it. Now, talking about today as well, you're taking a look at the CMA Fest Dr. Pepper Amp stage. That's where we're going to have Jill Jelnick. Jen Waddell will be out there later on this morning into early afternoon. Forecast looking good. And this is the same forecast to any of the stages you want to go to because they're all like blocks away from each other. 72 degrees at 9 a.m., 81 at noon, 83 degrees at 3 p.m., and 81 degrees at 6 o'clock. Grab the sunglasses and get ready to have a good time because the weather will not get in the way. However, lightning chances for Nissan Stadium. So the nighttime concerts. No storms tonight. Perfect. Luke Bryan takes the stage around 10:50. Should be fine the entire time. Tomorrow night, possible, but looking less likely that we have storms that move in before midnight. So if we can hold that forecast, we should be good the next 3 evenings when it comes to those big stadium shows.
Steer clear traffic for you at 450. Let's take a quick look here at what we're dealing with at I-24 at Harding. As you make that drive into town this morning, we had an 18-wheeler involved with the crash here on the shoulder and several other cars there as well. Metro Police are there dealing with that. Tow truck is also there. This looks to be clearing in the next few minutes, which is good news for anyone making that drive in from Antioch. We'll continue to follow things for you with Steer Clear Traffic live and local through 9. A new study suggests that the common low-calorie sweetener may be linked to an increase in heart attack and stroke. Now, xylitol is a sugar substitute found in certain gums, candies, toothpaste, Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic looked at more than 3,000 patients in the United States and Europe. They found that people with the highest level of xylitol in their blood had nearly twice the level of heart attack, stroke, and death compared with the lowest levels. Researchers say that more studies are needed to better understand artificial sweeteners. Well, coming up, it may sound a little fishy, but it's real. Free Fishing Day happening tomorrow in Tennessee waters. We'll tell you how you can take part. Thank you for waking up with us each and every morning on Fox 17 News this morning. We're your only local station with your traffic and weather headlines live with you every morning from 4 all the way until 9 o'clock. You can see the latest weather information as well as the dawn's early light coming over Nashville. And Fox 17 News is giving you the chance to receive 2 tickets for Brew at the Zoo. That's coming up on June the 14th at the Nashville Zoo. It's going to have a lot of unique programs out there for craft beer lovers and a lot more. There's going to be food and all kinds of music as well. You can scan the QR code. That'll take you for your
/TMS.
4:55 is the time. We are following breaking news out of Antioch this morning. That is where fire crews are at the scene of the house fire, and we are getting updates that there were no injuries, but the house is a total loss, according to authorities there on the scene. That's a live look there at the house over on Countryside Drive. That's just off of Una Antioch Pike there. The fire broke out around 3:30 this morning, and wow. Look at how much damage was done and about an hour there. Again, good news in all of this, if there is any, is no one was hurt in this fire. But you can see the fire has chewed away at someone's home there in Antioch. We'll continue to bring you up to date as we learn more about this story. GameStop and their stocks soared over 50% on Thursday. Now, this happened shortly after the meme trading pioneer Keith Gill, known as Roaring Kitty online, announced that an upcoming YouTube live stream is going to give people a lot of details out there. Now, this is fueling speculation that he might be another trading rally. He might be beginning another trading rally involving the video retailer GameStop. He was responsible for driving the GameStop trading frenzy 2 years ago, resulting in sellers scrambling to cover their shares of the brick and mortar store. We'll see what happens. Let's talk about Free Fishing Day. It is happening tomorrow in the state of Tennessee. It's a tradition that started all the way back in 1991. All residents and visitors can fish without a license all day tomorrow in the state of Tennessee. This is courtesy of the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency. That offer applies to all Tennessee's public waters, TWRA-owned and operated lakes, plus state park facilities. Now, the hope is that this will get people who don't normally fish out there and give the family an opportunity to get outside and just a greater appreciation of nature overall.
We have some beautiful nature here across the entire state. So the big question is, you know, as we're getting maybe geared up to get away from all the music and downtown, and maybe we're going to take advantage of Free Fishing Day, what do we have to look forward to the next couple of days? We'll find out in Future Track. Let's take a look at today. Nothing happens for you. Completely fine. Temperatures in the low to middle 80s, no humidity. I'm stopping you right now. It's 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is when showers begin to move in. Most of our rain tomorrow is going to be starting in the morning toward the afternoon, and most of it will be through southern Kentucky. 1 or 2 of these stray showers or weak storms has the potential to possibly track as far south as Nashville, but everyone south of I-40, I see no problems tomorrow during the daylight hours. Overnight, tomorrow night into Sunday morning. If we hold it off until 1 a.m., that means that every event we've got in Middle Tennessee will be okay. Southern Kentucky, though, still dealing with a few showers and storms that carry you all the way through 5 o'clock in the morning. So the first half of our Sunday, unfortunately, some heavy rainfall and some thunderstorms are possible.
4:58 is the time. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with steer clear traffic. This is going to be a live look here at I-24 at Harding Place. As you make that drive into Nashville this morning, you could run into a few problems there on the shoulder of the road. This was a much larger accident seen a few moments ago. They were able to get it down here as they are able to tow more and more cars away from this crash scene at 24 at Harding. Expecting this to be cleared very, very shortly here, as it looks like they're just finishing up some of the paperwork and making sure that car is secured there to that flatbed before pulling off. Well, save time to grab breakfast on your way out the door. It's National Donut Day, so you want to keep your eye out for local deals. You can get a free donut at Krispy Kreme or a dozen for $2. Now, you got to buy a dozen first, then they'll give you another dozen for $2. Dunkin' Donuts will give you a free donut if you buy a drink first. The Salvation Army established National Donut Day. Out of all the people, the Salvation Army established National Donut Day back in the 1930s as the first Friday in the month of June. It was meant to honor its donut lassies who traveled to France to serve donuts and other snacks to soldiers during World War I. You may have seen this video, and it's been going around for a little bit here online. A trip to a Texas safari takes a frightening turn after a giraffe snatches a little girl. Take a look at the video if you haven't seen it yet. It was all captured right here at the Fossil Rim Wildlife Center in Glen Rose, Texas. Now, the child's mother is heard encouraging her daughter to put her hand out so that the giraffe could reach for food. But suddenly, the animal decides he wants the little girl for herself. So he picks up the little girl by the shirt and pulls her out of the back of the pickup. Fortunately, the giraffe quickly released the toddler, and she was not hurt. Now, the Wildlife's website has updated its policy, saying that guests are no longer to ride in the bed of pickup trucks. 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, thousands of fans in town for the CMA Fest. Looking for a little fun? Fox 17 News will take you down there in the next few minutes.
And short-term rental concerns continue for people in Nashville following a crime that happened inside of a short-term rental, that leading to 7 arrests. Coming up, I'll have the details.
Working through some sunshine, lower humidity, a great day on tap, but as we always work into a good time, we always find the next weather maker and the next inconveniences. We'll look at those in the forecast.
All right, Greg, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning, just after 5 a.m. here on this Friday morning. Congratulations, you made it. I'm Justin McFarland. Jennifer Waddell will join us here in the next few minutes, a little bit later this morning. We do want to begin with some breaking news we're following out of Antioch. That is where fire crews are at the scene of a house fire. You can take a look at the scene for yourself there on Countryside Drive, not too far from Una Antioch Pike there. According to firefighters on that scene, the fire started at around 3:30 this morning. Still working to learn exactly how that fire got started, but we can tell you that no one was hurt, according to firefighters who were there. We'll continue to bring you more information as this story unfolds, but we can see there was significant damage to the house, and they believe the house could be a total loss as they were focusing a lot of their attention on the garage area there inside of that home. We're also following breaking news out of Robertson County. That is where the power has now been restored to more than 1,000 people. This is after a crash happened earlier in the night. According to Smoky Bar News, a commercial vehicle overturned on Mount Zion Road at Washington Road just before 2 a.m. The Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation is reporting that nearly 1,300 people lost power after this crash took place. According to their website, the power has now been restored to all customers. We've got continuing coverage this morning on crime at short-term rentals. Police say the latest was a short-term rental in North Nashville. They say that 7 people were arrested and charged with gun and drug possession. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live near that property to tell us about the details. Karen.
Good morning, Justin. Well, people are questioning how safe are short-term rentals. In the past, we've reported that several crimes have happened inside of them, including one shooting in May and another shooting in April. Now, here, right behind me on Napoleon Street, Metro Police say guns and drugs were taken from the suspects at a short-term rental. Police say 7 suspects were arrested on Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. They say a complaint led them to the short-term rental where they found 6 guns and at least 6 different types of narcotics. They say they then made arrests. They also say one of the suspects was a convicted felon and took off running after officers entered the short-term rental. They say he was caught pretty quickly. All 7 suspects have been charged with drug and gun possession. They also say one of the suspects was charged with evading arrest. Reporting live in North Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And 5:04 our time, taking a look at a forecast of improving parts compared to earlier in the week. Think about it. We had 90 on Monday. We had flooding Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, heat and humidity yesterday. We deserve a nice Friday. We're going to get it. Today's the best day of the week so far and the best day of the next 4 or 5 in the forecast. Taking a look, humidity is gone. None of it for today, at least compared to yesterday, barely noticeable. Temperatures down a little bit as well, low to middle 80s. However, timing weekend rain, it should not really get in the way of most of our plans depending upon where you live. Rain will be very compacted into some certain areas. We're all clear for code red. Even when showers and storms move in, no severe weather for the weekend itself. Taking a look at our South Nashville camera, everything is looking good. Sun trying to come up, and you're going to get tons of it once it does. We'll show you that sunrise, but for right now, it's a carefree start. No dense fog. We have dry roadways. I'm going to give you a green light when it comes to the weather influencing getting out the door. It's just making sure we're taking it easy regardless if the weather impacts you or not.
Steer clear traffic gets us out to I-24 at Harding Place. This is over in the Antioch area. Still waiting on crews to tow away the remainder of a crash here in this location, getting it out of the way. You can see the banged up car in the back of that flatbed truck, and they're preparing to tow it out of there. Once they do, they can reopen all lanes there on I-24, as this crash has been with us since around 3:30 this morning. So heads up in that area, not causing major delays, minor at best. We'll continue to follow things for you out there on the roads with Steer Clear traffic live and local through 9. Fox 17 has a long tradition of being involved with our community and the Country Music Association. So you'll be able to see some of our folks helping out at this year's CMA Fest. Now, our own Jennifer Waddell will be on the stage starting at 11 o'clock this morning. Our sports director, Joe Jelnick, will start at 10 o'clock. And then Jen will join her down there on the stage at 11. So a lot going on down there at the Ascend Amphitheater there. This is going to happen at the Dr. Pepper Amp Stage at Ascend Park. So you can go down there and see Jen and see Jill, the other J&J team we've got going on here at Fox 17 on stage down there at CMA Fest. So we want to hear from you. How many days do you plan on going down to check it out, the action at CMA Fest? Most of you are like, no, I'm not going down there at all. I don't want to go. None, says 93% of the people voting on our online poll. If you want to participate, you can scan the QR code right there on the side of your screen. You can also join us over at Fox Nashville on our X page. Well, coming up, one man has died in police custody in Grundy County, and the TBI is now investigating. We're going to tell you what the sheriff's office says happened. And in Wilson County, a big investment in school safety. We're going to tell you the price tag and when it could be put into place. Now, police say that he appeared, quote, heavily intoxicated, possibly with drugs. Deputies arrested and handcuffed him. The sheriff's office says that Ledbetter fought deputies in the squad car when they were trying to get him inside the jail. He stopped breathing while he was inside. Deputies used Narcan and CPR, but Ledbetter did die while he was in their custody. He had active warrants out for his arrest. The TBI is now investigating his death. New this morning, there's a silver alert in Nashville as the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is asking for help to try to find this man you see here on your screen. He's John Hill Jr. He was last seen on Albion Street around 5 a.m. yesterday. That's between Hadley Park and Tennessee State University. If you have seen him, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Crisis in the classroom takes us to Wilson County. That's where school districts around the mid-state, not just in Wilson County, are putting a priority on safety. Now, Wilson County Schools is going to pay around $900,000 for an upgrade on their safety. That money will go to security film to keep glass from shattering if it is shot. Now, on Monday, the Board of Education unanimously approved a bid to get that film installed for all of their schools. Lower level windows will get the film. Even at multi-level high school buildings, they will also get film of their own. A district spokesperson says that the film will hopefully be installed at all of their schools within the next 6 to 8 months.
Here we go, gearing up for day 2 of CMA Fest. Everything's set from yesterday and going to only get bigger going into the weekend. Will weather cooperate? The hours we have to have a little concern coming up in your forecast.
And steer clear traffic at I-40 at Donaldson Pike out there near the airport. You can see traffic moving along just fine. No big drama so far this morning. We'll continue to... 5:14 is the time. We're following breaking news out of Antioch this morning. That is where fire crews are on the scene of a house fire. Now, the crews on the scene say that there was no serious injuries, but the house is a total loss. You're taking a live look there on Countryside Drive. According to the dispatch, the fire broke out at around 3:30 this morning. We'll continue to give you updates, but you can see that the side of the house with the garage and the upstairs area completely charred and burned. Fire crews were there spraying down hot spots when our cameras got there, but this was a very large fire that consumed most of the house. The house is deemed a total loss. We're still continuing to follow the very latest on what caused this, but again, thankfully, no one was hurt.
To be a part of that risk mitigation, harm minimization strategy to help look after people.
Tens of thousands of music fans from all over the globe are in Nashville for the 51st annual CMA Fest, and keeping them safe is priority #1 for the city. Now we're taking a live look at Lower Broadway right now. You can see the tents and all that's set up. The fans aren't there yet, but they will be, 90,000 of them to be exact. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker shows us the commitment to security is really hard to miss.
That's right. We're expecting very large crowds here on Broadway. An estimated 90,000 people here each day on Broadway. Now, everywhere you turn, if you come down here, you'll notice that every corner is some sort of security personnel or first responder. So various agencies are really working together down here. Well, country music fans celebrate one of the biggest weekends in Nashville. A lot goes on behind the scenes to make sure everyone stays safe. That's happening from our rooftop buildings down to the ground, with an enhanced presence from both police and Nashville Fire.
And we know with the recent disappearance of Riley Strain and death of Riley Strain and other challenges downtown that we really need to find a place to take care of our people, and that's been something I've heard a lot from constituents.
On top of having more security and medical personnel, Councilman Jacob Coupin says the city is collaborating with nonprofits.
You guys want some water to cool down? Look at that, look at that.
Earlier this week, we caught up with Dan Terry with Red Frogs USA.
Water?
This nonprofit group is providing phone chargers, water and food, or even a walk home from noon to midnight all 4 days of CMA Fest.
You know, that's what Red Frogs is all about, is that positive peer presence in alcohol-fueled environments.
Terry says this works as a safe space for those who may lose their group,
sunscreen,
or even for someone who needs some extra help to sober up.
And if everyone just did something and it made a little bit of impact over a long period of time, it adds up to some big impact in life.
Councilman Jacob Coupin says this will act as a pilot program this weekend but the city is actively looking for ways to incorporate them more permanently down the line. Now, the Red Frogs tent is set up by the Hard Rock. Keep in mind there's also a first aid tent that's set up by the Riverfront stage. And again, there is security personnel, medics, and police officers down here that you could just walk right up to in the event that you need them. For now, reporting downtown, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Kylie. 5:18 is the time. So Greg Bobus is here. Greg has been here for now a few CMA Fests, so you've seen the crowds coming down there. You know, staying hydrated is a huge part of being safe for CMA Fest.
Even when it's not hot like yesterday. You're starting to mix the alcohol, the sunshine. Even when it's only 80 and it's not as humid, it's going to deceive you today. You're going to go, it's a great cool day outside, because we've been unfortunate with the heat and humidity. Hydration is key. Hydrate, hydrate. The second you start feeling thirsty, you already need to drink more water. Best tip you can have here when you're out on Broadway for multiple hours. Taking a look, South Nashville camera, we're getting ready for day 2. What to wear getting out the door? Well, I couldn't put a cowboy hat on here because I haven't found one yet, but if you want that and the boots, you're good. No rain gear today, which is fantastic, and we will be comfortable. Always suggesting lighter clothing, but if you can't, we'll just find extra shade. That's also another good little tip. And also know where the restrooms are at when you get down there. Just saying, it's very helpful to know just in case. 61 degrees at 6 o'clock, 63 at 7, and 69 degrees at 8 a.m. Loaded with sun all morning long, getting up and out the door. Grab the sunglasses. Avoid the sun glitter, especially if you are driving eastbound today. Flightcast. No problems at the airport when it comes to weather the entire day. We'll be in the 80s for a good chunk of the afternoon. Right now, Big Board putting up 13 delays. Fairly typical for this time of the morning, so nothing substantial happening at the airport right now. We'll keep our eyes on this throughout the rest of the morning, as we still do expect an influx of people here throughout the day.
Steer clear traffic as you get out the door. This is going to be I-24 at Harding Place. As you make that drive in and out of the Antioch area, still waiting on a tow truck to finish up taking away the rest of this scene down there at I-24, very close to the Antioch area. This was a much larger scene earlier in the morning. Several lanes were shut down. Now nowhere nearly as big, but they're still waiting on something there. I believe they're waiting on something for the 18-wheeler at this point. That's the only thing left. Everything else is cleaned up. No major delays. We'll continue to tell you about other things happening across the city. The United States is planning to send around $225 million worth of new military aid to Ukraine. Now, the United States officials tell the Associated Press that this package will include brand new munitions for rocket launchers, as well as other types of military systems. It follows a brand new directive that allows Ukraine to use U.S. weapons to strike certain Russian territories if forces are attacking or preparing to attack. Ukraine is still forbidden from using long-term missile offenses inside of Russia. Now, President Biden is expected to meet with Ukraine's president in Paris, France, later today. Again, that package around $225 million. Well, looking ahead to the end of the year, we're going to let you know when the Music City Bowl is set to kick off. And other sports news takes us to Saratoga Springs, New York. That is where the last piece of the Triple Crown will have a winner coming up here tomorrow. We're going to tell you about the Belmont Stakes. And
nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with Feeding America for our Sinclair Cares Summer Hunger Relief Campaign. You can donate by simply scanning the QR code on your screen or go to sinclaircares.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients.
Out of nowhere, I just got rear-ended. I reached out to Morgan & Morgan directly from the scene. Morgan & Morgan got my initial offer 10x'd.
When it came to negotiating, they didn't just settle for anything. They definitely went to bat for me. It's just like they cared about me.
You feel like you're worth it when you're with Morgan & Morgan.
You're not just a number.
Injured? Call Morgan & Morgan. For the people.
I have a secret to tell you. Do you know why the mattress stores only sell one-sided mattresses? Because you have to replace them sooner. At O'Reilly's Amish Furniture, we only sell two-sided mattresses, all handmade by the Amish. From luxury firm to extra firm, 8 styles on display for you to try out. Queen size sets are on sale from $12.69 to $29.99. Stop in today and try them out. We even take away your old set on delivery. So stop in at O'Reilly's Amish Furniture, Highway 100 Nashville, 1 mile east of the Loveless Cafe.
Sometimes it takes a different approach.
Okay, that's Mrs. Johnson, right? Great.
To see the possibilities all around you.
Almost 10. You gonna have a big birthday party? Right, are you feeling okay?
With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, you can earn your nursing degree without putting life on hold. Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
It'll be raining cats and dogs again. Time to waterproof with Gorilla.
Waterproof with Gorilla?
Yeah!
Gorilla Waterproof Patch and Seal.
Of course.
Spray it, tape it, spread it, brush it to stop and prevent leaks. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
Nutrish Whole Health Blend for happy, healthy dogs.
I was made for sport.
Nutrish Whole Health Blend for balanced energy, active mind, and immune support. Helping dogs dog healthy.
The college football season will be here before you know it, and that includes the Music City Bowl. The date for the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl was announced yesterday, so you can mark your calendar right now. Coming up for December the 30th there at Nissan Stadium. We'll see which teams make it to the Music City Bowl this particular year. Well, Nashville SC currently on their international break, and yesterday the club chose to spend their time cleaning up the city. The boys in gold teaming up with Nobody Trashes Tennessee. It's a campaign that the state puts on. Its goal is to help clean up some of the communities around the city, and that includes the community around Geodis Park there at the fairgrounds. Great way to give back for their time off. According to the team, their next match is set for June the 15th against the New York Red Bulls. Well, coming up tomorrow, the Belmont Stakes are set to go in Saratoga Springs, New York. The winning owner and their trainers will get to share around $2 million. That is up from around $1.5 million last year. Post time is set for 5:41 p.m. Central Time. You can go out there and take a look which horses come in first. All right, let's get over to Greg Bovis. He is watching the forecast for us.
That we are. Today is good, so we're starting off 5 a.m. on Future Track. One click of the button, it goes all the way through it. Nothing happens. You'll be in the low to middle 80s today. Low humidity, tons of sunshine. Clouds creep in overnight. Here's where it gets interesting. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Take a look. Most of what we're going to see tomorrow likely pivots north of the state line into southern Kentucky. So if you're in Hoptown all the way through Bowling Green, Tompkinsville, you're going to see a few showers on and off to start off the day. And those will linger on and off, pop-ups, real quick firing, light to moderate rainfall through 11 o'clock. Then we'll get a little break. Overnight, this is what I'm watching here most carefully. Now, one or two of those in the meantime could sneak south the state line, but nothing big to worry about for your Saturday. This is going to be overnight. We know we've got the Nissan Stadium concerts every night. We had one last night. We're going to have one again tonight. We keep it rolling into tomorrow. This timing is everything. If this speeds up by an hour or two, we could have some storms that move in right during the concerts downtown. So keep that in mind. As of right now, if this holds true, we keep the rain out until after midnight, but then we work into Sunday morning with showers and thunderstorms. No severe weather, but some areas of heavy rain. All the reds and the oranges always tell us we could have a few thunderstorms that do rumble in. Those are out of here by mid to late morning, and then things die down for the rest of your Sunday.
Steer clear traffic as you get out the door. Let's get you over to I-24 at Harding. We continue to follow that crash on the shoulder of the road. It's been with us since around 3:30. At one point, it was shutting down 2 lanes. Now, not doing anything like that. It's much tamer than where it was earlier in the morning. That is for sure. Right now, there is one car on the flatbed truck there. They're also waiting on something to tow away that 18-wheeler, but overall not causing huge delays. Let's get you to the drive times here. Mount Juliet at 26 minutes, Murfreesboro at 50 minutes, Franklin coming in at 25 minutes. We'll continue to follow things out there on the roads. Well, coming up, a search for a man that robbed a gas station in Spring Hill. We're going to tell you exactly who authorities are looking for.
And short-term rentals continue here in Nashville following a crime that happened inside a short-term rental, that leading to 7 arrests. Coming up, I'll have all the details.
My name is Richard Moore. I've worked in law enforcement for over 29 years. When I'm on the go, the mobile app allows me to access my accounts quickly, to check balances, and if I need to make a transaction, I can do that as well. Southeast Financial is the best family-oriented credit union I've ever experienced. They're dedicated, committed to helping each member reach their financial goals.
With FanDuel, your group chat will be blowing up every game of the NBA playoffs. Because right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win. Plus, with live betting, you can get in on all the action from tip-off to the final buzzer. It's the NBA playoffs on America's #1 sportsbook. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if you win.
Every Saturday, your game is on Fox.
I mean, just feast your eyes on this. Because if baseball is as American as apple pie, then Fox Saturday Baseball is one heck of a slice. And with these guys on the menu, all you gotta do is sit back, relax, and make some room for a big old helping. With a cherry on top. Come on, it's Saturday.
Tracking storms, what you'll need to prepare now for the week ahead. Today at 5:30. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
On Fox 17 News This Morning, a man is now charged with driving under the influence in the heart of downtown. We'll tell you what he was doing when authorities pulled him over.
Yeah, we're waking up here, sun almost above the horizon. You're loaded with it today, but that's not the entire weekend. New timelines for storms coming straight your way.
And steer clear traffic, we continue to follow one crash on I-24 near Harding Place. Not causing that big of a delay, but we'll tell you the best ways to steer clear. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning, just after 5:30. Congratulations, you made it to Friday. I'm Justin McFarland. We do want to begin with the story that we were first telling you about when we came on the air this morning at around 4 a.m. We now know that 2 people were hurt in a crash involving a cement truck. This happened on Rosa Parks Boulevard near Jefferson Street around 3 o'clock this morning. Metro Police tell us that there is an SUV that may have run a red light and crashed into that cement truck. The driver of the cement truck and the SUV were both taken to the hospital for treatment. They are expected to be okay. That is the good news there, but you can see the airbag did deploy, and we caught that video live as that cement truck was being towed away. Following breaking news this morning out of Antioch, that is where crews are on the scene of a house fire. As the crews are telling us that nobody was severely hurt in this particular house fire. Everybody got out okay, but the house itself is a total loss. Happened on the scene there near Countryside Drive. That's just off of Una Antioch Pike there. You can see the fire completely chewed through the side of that house. Started at around 3:30 this morning. We'll continue to update you on exactly what caused this fire as soon as fire crews tell us. But again, they believe the house is a total loss. Glad nobody was hurt. We've got continuing coverage this morning on crime taking place at short-term rentals. This is especially prevalent right now because so many people are in town using some short-term rentals for the CMA Fest. Well, the latest crime took place in North Nashville. That's where 7 people were arrested with gun and drug possession. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live near the property to tell us exactly what happened. Karen?
Good morning, Justin. And now this is all part of a bigger problem we've been seeing. And right here behind me on Napoleon Street, Metro Police say guns and drugs were taken from the suspects at a short-term rental. Police say 7 suspects have been arrested as a result on Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. They say a complaint led them to the short-term rental where they found 6 guns and at least 6 different types of narcotics. They then made arrests. Safety in short-term rentals is becoming an issue for some people after the last 2 months We've reported on 2 shootings, one at a Midtown short-term rental last month and another at a short-term rental in North Nashville in April. And over the years, Fox 17 News has reported on more crime in short-term rentals. Just to give you an idea of what a big problem this is for some people that live here in Nashville. So we reached out to the mayor's office with some questions, what they're planning to do to be able to tighten safety measures inside of Airbnbs or short-term rentals, and we're waiting to hear back. Reporting live in North Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
5:33, a look at your forecast starting up on this Friday morning. 3 things to know for the next few days. That includes today and straight through your weekend. Today is a perfect day in almost every way. Low humidity, sun's coming up right now. We have it all day long, and we also have temperatures that will not be in the upper 80s. We're talking low to middle 80s at best. When you take away the humidity and you drop the temperature, we're going to be feeling really nice. However, there's still going to be a few weekend storms. Now, the timing has changed and the geography has changed, meaning not everyone gets rain. If you were south of I-40 and you are west of 65, so think Lawrenceburg, you start getting down in those areas, you may not see any rain at all this weekend. Things have shifted just a little bit, and we're going to look at it for you. That also will impact our CMA outlook. So they kind of go in tandem, of course, this kind of a weekend when so many of those events are outdoors and all of those outdoor stages downtown. A few weekend thunderstorms that we're tracking, none of them are going to be strong. None will be anywhere near being severe, and we're not anticipating any flooding either, so keep that in mind. Current temperature right now downtown is 64. Right side of your screen, your current temps will be up there for you even during commercial breaks all the way through 9 a.m. We're aiming, though, for the low to middle 80s. We'll work you through future track coming up in a few minutes. The next check of your forecast.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 5:35. Let's get you out to I-65 at Trinity Lane. There on the north side of town. As you can see, traffic there moving along just fine. No big problems in either direction. Good news as you're making your way out and about here on this Friday morning. We continue to follow that crash on 24. This is over here on 24 near Harding, making your way through the Antioch area. Also looking pretty good over there. We'll continue to follow things out on the road, let you know if anything does get in your way with steer clear traffic, as we're live and local with you through 9 o'clock this morning. Operation Crime and Justice. Spring Hill police are now searching for the man they say robbed a gas station at gunpoint. Police say the man was caught on camera. This happened yesterday. Inside of a Murphy's gas station, he used a handgun to force a worker to hand over cash. Spring Hill police say if you have seen this man or have any information about where he may be or any more details about the robbery, you're asked to call the number on your screen. Metro police have now arrested a man accused of DUI. They say he was doing burnouts very close to the CMA Fest area in downtown. Police say that 51-year-old Mark Geist performed the stunts on 4th Avenue and Broadway on Wednesday night. When officers pulled him over, they say he had slurred speech and admitted to drinking alcohol. They say he was also driving on a revoked license. So now he is behind bars. Rocker John Bon Jovi has his initials on Broadway, plus 5 floors and more at his new bar. We're going to take
with a new Glock. This summer, any purchase $2,500 or more gets you a free Glock watch. Engagement rings, diamond studs, anything store-wide. If you want, pay for it all with your old scrap gold and silver. Buy a rock, get a Glock. Watch, of course. Only at Hancock Diamonds, Goodlettsville, or HancockDiamonds.com.
The Champions Wildcard competition continues on Jeopardy!
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen.
5:39 is the time. Listen to this. Hall of Fame rock and roller John Bon Jovi and his bandmates are celebrating the grand opening of John's brand new Broadway bar, JBJ's. Now, John Bon Jovi set up shop in the Old Merchants restaurant located right on the corner of 4th and Broadway in downtown. The new bar features 5 floors. They've got 3 stages, 2 different rooftops overlooking Broadway, and a lot more. Now, John Bon Jovi says that he plans on working with the city to give back. He just hasn't found the right project as of yet. So that's something to look forward to as they're continuing to open up new businesses all the time in downtown.
Handful of bars here just since the beginning of the year that have all opened up, and taking a look. Maybe you want none of that. You're like, you know what? Forget about it. I want to go grab an inner tube, pool noodle. You get away from people and just hang out for the afternoon. This is a good day for you. Even if you have to wait until you get home from work later, temperatures are still going to be in the middle 80s through 5 o'clock. We're talking 70s at 10 a.m., 84 degrees at 2, sunshine the entire day. The humidity has dropped. That's the best part. Even if you keep the temperatures well into the 80s, but you drop out that humidity, we all know that's an instant relief, and that's how we're going to be throughout this one. Maybe you, though, want to hop out of the pool for a minute because you're starting to get a little bit hungry. Walk a little ways away from where you were in the backyard, too. Your grilling station. Here's how it looks for the evening hours past 5 o'clock and then into around sunset. We have temperatures that are going to stay in the 80s all the way through 7 o'clock, with that humidity and a little breeze out of the north. Great evening to grill out or just have dinner out on the patio.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at I-24 at Harding Place. This happens over in the Antioch area, so waiting on a tow truck to come pull that 18-wheeler out of the way. Been watching this all morning, not causing big delays. Just give them some space if you're flying by there on I-24. Overall drive times also looking very smooth. And we're going to give you some of those, plus a look over on the west side of town. That's all coming up here in a few minutes. Well, coming up, a member of the United States House of Representatives who's from the state of Tennessee jumped out of a plane to honor veterans who fought on D-Day. We'll take you there.
Tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Your first line of defense when severe weather threatens. Warning you up to 3 days in advance.
So, when we call a Code Red weather alert,
know we're providing you with the information needed to prepare and stay safe.
5:45 is the time. We've got breaking news out of Antioch this morning. That's where fire crews have just left the scene of a house fire. The Nashville Fire Department is now telling us that 3 people were impacted by this fire. Fire crews say that there was nobody hurt with this fire, and that's certainly good news when you look at the aftermath of it there. This was the scene over on Countryside Drive. Our crews are still there live right now with these pictures. According to dispatch, the fire broke out at around 3:30 this morning. We'll continue to give you up-to-date information on this breaking news story as we learn more. Several members of Tennessee's congressional delegation were in France yesterday for ceremonies marking the 80th anniversary of D-Day. Now, it was the beginning of the end of World War II, as thousands of American soldiers plus other Allied forces stormed the beaches of Normandy, France, as artillery rained down on them from the cliffs above. More than 2,000 are now buried at an American cemetery just above the beach. Tennessee's congressman from the 7th District, Mark Green, who is a retired Army surgeon, says that freedom is never free.
But most of the time in history, when a country wins a war, they keep the land. And all we've ever asked for is a place to bury our dead. And I want to thank France for giving us this land to place America's sons and daughters here, to always remember the sacrifices paid for freedom.
It was 80 years ago yesterday that marked when the Allied forces, members of the 101st Airborne and the 82nd Airborne, parachuted behind enemy lines to fight the Germans there in France. Congressman Green parachuted yesterday to commemorate the occasion.
It's the place where our dreams really did come true.
An award-winning country music duo performing at the CMA Fest this year. They're enjoying the fruits of their labor after these sisters spent years performing on Broadway. Fox 17 News' Caitlin Miller has their story.
Hey, hey. Krista and Kendra Slaybaugh have been playing music together since they could walk.
We're sisters. We're from North Dakota.
They started their band 11 years ago, toured around the country, and then moved to Music City to pursue their dream.
We moved down to Nashville. We played on Broadway for 3 years, and we spent 2 of those 3 years playing at Whiskey Row.
Krista and Kendra performed at Dierks Bentley's Whiskey Row on Broadway every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, doing 4-hour sets of cover band music.
We made a living down here. I mean, that's how we paid our bills for a good 3 years of our lives.
Now this sister duo is back, signing posters and having fans line up for them. After winning ACM New Duo of the Year and receiving 2 CMT nominations, and having their song, Shoot Tequila, go viral worldwide.
It's so cool because like places like Whiskey Row, we got to know fan by fan. Yeah. We got to talk to them and develop relationships with them. So to come back here and celebrate with everyone is just so full circle.
And this was the main bar we used to play at. And so 4 years ago, we were still playing for tips.
Krista and Kendra say their career has not been an overnight success story.
Yeah, we've been a band for 11 years. It's been very slow and steady, wins the race for us.
A sense of gratitude that when the big moments come.
When they announced, and the ACM goes to Tiger Lily Gold, we both were holding hands and just like started crying.
They can appreciate even more the places.
Whiskey Row holds a special place in our hearts.
It really is a place where our dreams have come true.
And the people that are helping make their dreams come true.
Fox 17 News, Caitlin Muse reporting there. Caitlin Muse. What did I say? Caitlin Muse.
Caitlin Muse. We'll be with us later on this
reporters just there. Just Justin, combine them right.
It's a Friday.
Caitlin Miller reporting there. Sorry, Caitlin.
Love that story, though, because this is that weekend where you hear so many of these stories like that, though, where artists have been down here for years or a decade. They get that one chance to make their mark, and then it just has the snowball effect. So we'll, I'm sure, hear more stories like that. And getting into the upcoming weekend, not much to worry about. Honestly, things have gotten a little bit better. They're not crystal clear or completely perfect, but hey, nothing in life is, right? We'll take a look at today. It's the best day of the forecast. It's a Friday for us here, and it's going to give us a temperature between 82 and 84 degrees. We're going to have low humidity, and the best part is no rain at any point. Grab the shades, the cowboy hat, the cowboy boots if you're heading down to Broadway or anywhere downtown, and you're going to be good. Taking a look, humidity takes a hike for a day. We'll be back for the weekend because we do have a few showers and storms that will move in. It's not raining for everyone, though, which is good. Here's your temperature outlook for the rest of this one. Low 60s, 6 a.m. through 9 o'clock. 70s starting at 9 a.m. all the way through noon. And then we will plateau right near 84. Only about 4 or 5 degrees cooler than yesterday, but when you factor out the humidity, that goes a long way when it comes to comfort. So talked about it's a good day for a barbecue outside. It's a good day for the pool, the dog walk. Oh yes, speaking of the dog walk, we'll meet your dog of the day and look at your 7-day forecast coming up in 5 minutes.
Steer clear traffic at 5:50 this morning. Live look here at I-24 at Harding Place as you make that drive into town from the south and east side. Still waiting on a tow truck to come pull the rest of this crash away. Other than that, though, we're good to go. This is going to be I-40 at White Bridge Road over on the west side of town. Looking really good as you make that drive in from Bellevue, the Nations, places like that. We'll continue to watch the rest of the roads out there for you, let you know what we find with steer clear traffic live and local through 9. A new study suggests that the common low-calorie sweetener may be at risk for a heart attack and stroke, or could be putting more people at risk for heart attack and stroke. Now, xylitol is a sugar substitute found in certain gums, candies, and toothpaste. Researchers at the Cleveland Clinic looked at more than 3,000 patients in the United States and Europe. They found people with the highest levels of xylitol in their blood had nearly twice the risk of heart attack and stroke compared to those with the lowest level of that particular type of drug. Now, those with the researchers say that more studies are needed to better understand artificial sweeteners. But coming up, a recall for more than 1 million rechargeable lights. They say they can start fires. We're going to tell you how you can find them in your house and how you can stay safe. And the weather is heating up, and there are brand new treatments for heat stroke that are on the way. We're going to tell you more about them. Plus, Fox 17 News is giving you the chance to receive 2 tickets for Brew at the Zoo. It's going to be happening on Friday, June the 14th, over at the Nashville Zoo. You can enjoy some of the animals, live music, food trucks, and dozens of craft beers at this unique after-hours event. You can scan that QR code. 5:55 is the time. Live look there across downtown Nashville. So the sun is up, and things are starting to get going down there in downtown Nashville for day 2 of the CMA Fest. How warm is it going to be today? Well, it's not going to feel like the numbers that Greg is going to show you. He's going to explain all that for you because he's the weather guy. Coming up in a few minutes. A recall alert this morning for some lights that are linked to potential fires. The Consumer Protection Safety Commission says more than 1.2 million light bars from Good Earth Lighting are behind this recall. The agency is reporting that there's at least one person who died from smoke inhalation as a result of a fire caused by one of these lights. We're also talking about at least 6 different lights have maybe caused these fires from across the country. They were sold in places like Amazon, Lowe's, and Ace Hardware from October of 2017 all the way until January of this year. So a 7-year stretch, okay? Now, anyone who's got one of these bars is asked to contact Good Earth immediately for a free replacement, but by all means, stop using them. Well, the weather is certainly heating up across the country, but in places like Arizona, the heat is especially dangerous. Now, the Phoenix Fire Department says they have a new treatment to start cooling patients off before they even get to the hospital. Look at what they're doing. It's called the cold water immersion bag. Now, the heat stroke victim would be placed inside of that bag and ice emptied around their body.
We have ice chests in the back of our apparatus full of ice water, cold IV fluids. So we're going to pack the neck area anywhere where there's major arteries, right, and major blood flow. So groin, axillary regions, we're going to pack those areas with ice to cool that core body temperature down.
Very interesting. The National Weather Service says yesterday was the hottest day on record in Phoenix, and that's saying something. Temperatures rising above 112 degrees. And excessive heat warnings in effect for that area through tonight. I'm going to hear from Jen Waddell a little bit later on that. I mean, okay, I just need to have a conversation. Let's have a conversation right now with Greg Bobus. He's standing by. Greg, we're not going to get to 112 today, right?
If we do, I'm losing my job. Because we're not going to be anywhere near it, so I missed the boat big time. Taking a look here, everything looking great, low 80s, low humidity. A good day to get outside with the dog of the day, Gracie, who is clearly ready to play already. Gracie sent in by Donna from Gallatin. Yeah, today's a nice one. It's not been a great week with all the flooding we had earlier in the week. We had a 90-degree day on Monday. We were close to it yesterday. Dog walking today. Maybe it's an extra long dog walk. The entire morning and afternoon this time around will be good. It's kind of been one of those weeks where if you didn't get it done early, you got showers, storms, the heat. Not today. Sunshine as far as the eye can see, quite literally the entire day. So sunglasses. Extra hydration, though. Even though it's going to feel cooler, it's still going to get to you when it comes to dehydrating you with how much sun we're going to have. Here's how you send us your dog of the day. You just go to Facebook, meteorologist Greg Bobus. You'll find that pinned post. I told you about it every day. That's how you do it. That's how you get your dog right here. Coming up at our 6 o'clock half hour. Looking ahead to the rest of this weekend, my thoughts on the exact timing of rain, who's going to get it, who's going to stay dry, and what it could mean for CMA Fest. Many things coming your way in just a few minutes from right now.
5:59 is the time. Quick look at your steer clear traffic at I-40 at Donaldson Pike out near the airport. We are rolling along pretty well out there, despite the fact we've got 90,000 people coming in town for the CMA Music Fest. Keep in mind that a lot of these folks are driving in. I know I saw license plates from Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, I think Texas. That was just on the way to work for me early in the morning. So who knows how many more people are pouring in for that. We'll continue to follow things out there for you with steer clear traffic. Flavor Flav has a brand new job. Of course, now he is the hype man for the women's national polo team. What? Water polo? The clock-wearing musician got the job spontaneously. Everything he does is spontaneous. He saw an Instagram post from Captain Maggie Steffens asking for more support ahead of this year's Paris Olympics. Well, Flavor Flav replied and said that he would use all of his relationships and resources to help. The U.S. team hopes to become the first women's water polo team to win 4 consecutive Olympic gold medals, and their hype man Flavor Flav planning to be poolside to cheer them on. How can they lose with Flavor Flav on the scene? Fight the power, my man.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
A very good morning to you on this Friday, 6:01, and crime and safety, 2 big concerns as we are into CMA Fest. What police are doing now to make sure people want to come and stay in Nashville.
Short-term rental concerns continue for people here in Nashville following a crime that happened inside of a short-term rental, that leading to 7 arrests. Coming up, I'll have all the details.
A carefree Friday ahead of us. The weekend, a couple little hiccups in the forecast. Do not cancel your plans. We'll just time out when rain is possible.
Glad to be here for you for Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell. Erica Glover is off. Fox 17 News, your only live local news source through 9 a.m. And we begin this hour with an update to breaking news this morning. Fire crews are now gone, and the family living in the house you see on the bottom right side of your screen will start the painful process of trying to figure out what's next. An early morning fire has destroyed their home, and we're taking a live look at the damage right now. You can see we've got a couple of folks out front here taking a look at the damage, no doubt. Trying to figure out what may have started this fire that, as you can see, did also impact the car parked out front. Nashville Fire Department telling us 3 people are impacted who had been in the home, but fortunately everybody got out safely. It looks like the fire is contained to that car, the garage, and the area above the garage, but it is considered a total loss. According to dispatch, started around 3:30 this morning in Antioch. We'll continue to keep you updated on this breaking news story as we learn more. And continuing coverage now of CMA Fest with an extra 90,000 people expected every day for 4 days. Nonprofits are now working with Metro leaders to make sure that these music fans have a good time, stay safe, and ultimately want to come back.
Do you guys want water or sunscreen or phone chargers?
You hear that Australian accent. Those are folks from an Australia-based group called Red Frogs. They're in Nashville, even though they started in Australia, and they volunteer to come on Broadway during big events to just help people out. Red Frogs working with the city to provide a safe place for people to come get hydrated. You can charge your cell phones, and otherwise just, if you need a little help, get some help. Really important for people who, for example, might have had too much to drink. Councilmember Jacob Koopman, who represents downtown Nashville, says he would like to have this nonprofit become a regular piece of Music City.
We know with the recent disappearance of Riley Strain and death of Riley Strain and other challenges downtown that we really need to find a place to take care of our people, and that's been something I've heard a lot from constituents.
And also, by the way, a first aid tent right over by the riverfront, along with enhanced security at each corner. We have seen Metro Police, Fire, EMT, all stationed there through Lower Broadway. We want to hear from you. Are you going to CMA Fest? And if so, how many days? Here's what's interesting. And listen, we talked about this yesterday. 93% of you say none. You're not even going to try it. And we've mentioned, as we give this coverage to this big event for Nashville, we fully recognize there are a lot of you who want nothing to do with being in downtown Nashville. So most of you who are our regular viewers say, nah, you're not even really messing with it. If you want to vote and maybe leave us a comment, you can scan the QR code right there on your screen.
I wonder if the locals are the ones that are
right?
getting on our poll this morning.
Gotta figure.
Jen, a little story for you. Had to drive down to Franklin yesterday. Just routine stuff.
Yeah.
Drive from Nashville to Franklin, easy peasy. Drive back, took twice the amount of time, and I would say 2 out of every 3 cars I saw was an out-of-state license plate.
Oh, well, listen,
so
if you're here from out of town, welcome to Nashville.
Yes.
We hope you have a great time. I'll see you later this morning over at the Dr. Pepper Amp stage. I'm excited about that.
She'll be out there. Jill Jelmick, our sports director, will be out there as well. So it'll be a fun morning. I have a forecast specifically for that. And if you are visiting Music City, get all the music you can. It's a great day. This is the best day of the forecast this week. We're talking low to middle 80s later on today. Low humidity. It takes a hike at least for a little while. I will track, though, a little bit of rain for the upcoming weekend, so keep that in mind. It's not going to wash anything out, but we'll look at those little time frames on Saturday into Sunday when there could be some rain coming down. That's coming up in your Code Red forecast.
Greg, thank you very much. 6:05, steer clear traffic. Looking pretty good here to kick off your Friday morning. We do have a couple things that have been popping off here and there. Not a high impact, but we do have this tractor trailer pulled off to the shoulder I-24 at Harding Place in Antioch. Not a big impact to traffic, as you can see. In fact, not a lot of volume out there in Antioch right now. We'll keep an eye on traffic and check back in just a few minutes. Right now, crime at short-term rentals has become a big concern in Nashville. Police say the latest crime at a short-term rental in North Nashville, where 7 people got arrested and are now charged with having guns and drugs. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live near that property to tell us more.
Good morning, John. People have been questioning how safe are short-term rentals. In the past, we've reported on several crimes happening inside of them, including one shooting in May and another in April. Now here behind me on Napoleon Street, Metro Police say guns and drugs were taken from the suspects at a short-term rental. Police say 7 suspects were arrested on Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. They say a complaint led them to the short-term rental where they found 6 guns and at least 6 different types of narcotics. They say they then made arrests. They say one of the suspects was a convicted felon and took off running after officers entered the short-term rental. They say he was caught pretty quickly. All 7 suspects have been charged with drug and gun possession. They also say one of the suspects was charged with evading arrest. Reporting live North Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6:07, after years of problems, Tennessee State University says they hope to have a better plan for housing their
6:10 is the time. Last year, you may recall, we did lots of stories involving Tennessee State University and their effort to house students. They were putting lots of their students in hotels off of campus. Some of those hotels located over on Brick Church Pike, other hotels located next to Opryland Hotel and Resort. This year, they're saying they're not going to have to do any of that. They say they are changing their policies and they have found places to put students either on campus or certainly much closer to campus.
We're back to normal housing stuff. So when I say normal housing stuff, calls of, can I get my daughter in the new residence hall? Can I live with my friend who I've been friends with forever? And I put my application in. So we're back to those things, which feels a lot better than, you know, negotiating contracts with Red Roof and Best Western and all those. This feels like a better space to be in.
Now, they've also said they're changing their policies as well. They've got a housing deadline. So if students do not apply and pay their housing security by a certain date, they will not be guaranteed housing when they come back to campus coming up in the fall. We've got a lot more from the Dean of Students coming up here a little bit later about the changes they're making to their housing policy and why they feel like they're in a much better space now. We are still about a month away from the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but the Secret Service says they are still trying to get some of the details ironed out for this event. Now, the convention is expected to draw in around 30,000 people, as well as large-scale protests. Now, the RNC officials have raised security concerns, and in March, Milwaukee's City Council voted to contain demonstrations to a specific area and route. Now, they haven't said exactly where that's going to be yet. Organizations are arguing, though, that this will violate their First Amendment rights. The Secret Service says they're considering these factors and will have further details in about 2 weeks.
Secret Service respects every American's First Amendment right to express themselves, and protests are nothing new to political conventions. Secret Service is working closely with Chief Norman and the Milwaukee Police Department, who are prepared to manage demonstrations so that groups can express their views freely.
Demonstrators are also planning to protest at the Democratic National Convention. It's going to happen in Chicago this year. Chicago officials have voiced similar concerns. The police department there say they are undergoing de-escalation and First Amendment training right now.
Coming up in your COVID forecast, we finally made it to the weekend. Your Friday is here. The sun is coming up. We'll work you through all 3 days, hour by hour.
And Sarah, clear traffic at I-24 at Harding Place in Antioch. We've got the very latest on this crash on the shoulder and other things.
Good morning and welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now, 6:14, country icon Dolly Parton using the CMA Fest to announce a series of new projects, including a new downtown hotel and museum. Listen, I don't think there's anything Dolly can't do. She shared the news at the Music City Center in Nashville yesterday to a jam-packed crowd of people who lined up for hours just to see her. Now, in addition to this hotel, which will be located at the old Baker Donaldson building at 3rd and Commerce, Dolly announced a new line of wines, a cookbook with her sister Rachel, a new family album, and a musical. Listen.
I'm really hoping that people are going to really just see how much talent there really is. Just like the Carter family, you know, everybody sings, everybody plays, and all that. So I'm just very proud of my family, like I'm proud of the Smoky Mountains.
So talking about the new album, it's going to come with a docu-series that traces the family's origins back to Europe and how they came to East Tennessee. It'll be called Smoky Mountain DNA. And that musical that I mentioned, I think is titled Hello, I'm Dolly. So that'll be fun to see as it goes through the works. Tennessee Titans. Let's talk sports. Tennessee Titans in the thick of their mandatory mini camp and giving us a better look at not just the offense and the defense, but how they work together. Still no pads on. That's going to come later in training camp, but we did get to see the team's 7-on-7 sessions. Wednesday was red zone heavy, where the defense got the edge over the offense with a lot of passes batted down and an interception. Yesterday, Thursday, was the offense, and it was a lot sharper. Head coach Brian Callahan said that he thought the group responded well after getting a little beat up Wednesday by the defense.
Offensively, we bounced back from a not great day yesterday in 7-on-7 in the red zone. Defense kind of kicked our teeth in, and then today they came out with some good energy, and our first set of 7-on-7 was much better. So good to see that.
Okay, so next up we have 4 more practices starting on Monday. Happening tonight, we go to Robertson County and Springfield, where their first Fridays series kicks off for the summer. This is such a great event. Look at the crowds. Isn't downtown Springfield beautiful? Look at the historic courthouse. So they've got shopping, dining, live music, lots of kids activities. In fact, this is a free event. This costs nothing. They have an entire kids zone, more than 80 local vendors. I mentioned live music. Tonight, live music features The Fortunate Sons. First Fridays runs from 6 until 9 p.m. the first Friday of every month in downtown Springfield from May through October. The next installment of this series will fall on July 5th. Man, that's going to be a big party in downtown Springfield.
Yeah, just those images right there, you can already tell. You're in for a good time. And I'll tell you right now, nothing to worry about with the weather here today. Going to be perfect, and that's from start to finish. Sun's already up. You're going to have it all the way through sunset, and no humidity, not a lot of heat. Make all your plans, do all the things, and have all the fun, because it's not going to slow you down. Now, there will be many dry hours for the actual weekend itself, Saturday and Sunday. But let's just hone in on those 2 days. Rain chances will be there for CMA Fest. Timing is the key, though, and also the location of where those showers are versus timing. Below average temperatures, low 80s. First of all, we'll talk about today. I'm going to get out of the way of the 2 people that are going to be more important than me during this. The Dr. Pepper amp stage. Yeah, there they are. Jen and Jill are going to be out there later on this morning. Big old lineup. They're starting at 10:15. Music begins then. Goes all the way through around 5 o'clock. And there's some names on there that if you know country music, Thompson Square, Josh Grayson, immediately are going to stick out. Uncle Cracker. Well, if he says everything's going to be all right, you got to say it for the forecast too. Perfect. Taking a look, you'll be in the low 70s at 9, lower 80s noon all the way through 3, 4, 5, and 6 o'clock. Sunglasses and also sunscreen, you're going to need them. Now, as far as Saturday goes into Sunday, Saturday night is the one chance we could see some rumbles of some thunder in the forecast. Not a guarantee. And right now, it's looking better that we don't see thunderstorms at Nissan Stadium during the concert, but it's always a possibility with the timing of this that we're going to look at in the Check a Future track here in about 10 minutes from now.
Still clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about here to I-24 at Harding Place. We've been following this crash here since around 3:30 in the morning. That's how long this crash has been with us out there. So heads up, and this was a much bigger scene once upon a time. They've been able to get a couple of lanes back open here, still waiting on a tow truck to come get this 18-wheeler out of here. Other than that, you're good to go. You can tell this is 24 heading out of town. That much is clear. Look at the traffic level on this side compared to the other side as folks are starting to crawl in from Antioch this morning. Overall drive times look a little something like this. Mount Juliet at 26 minutes, 50 minutes or so coming in from Murfreesboro, 25 minutes coming in from Franklin. We'll get you an update on all of these drive times as they're all expected to climb as the morning goes on.
Boeing Starliner spacecraft has docked to the International Space Station following the Wednesday liftoff. NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore, who is from Middle Tennessee, and Sonny Williams safely arrived at the space station just yesterday as expected. Hugs all around here. Wilmore and Williams welcomed by 7 other astronauts and cosmonauts that are already at the ISS. Our 2 astronauts that just lifted off Wednesday say they are excited and ready to go to work.
This organization, these organizations are the epitome of teamwork, and it is a blessing and it's a privilege to be a part of it.
We're just happy as can be to be up in space, one in Starliner, on an Atlas V, and then here on the International Space Station.
How incredible. That is just awesome. Butch Wilmore and Miss Williams will spend 8 days on the orbiting lab and then bring back valuable information. Still to come here on Fox 17 News this morning, baseball super regionals getting started in Knoxville. We'll tell you what's in store for today for our Vols and their opponent. Plus, we know when the Music City Bowl is going to happen this year. Almost at the end of the year. We'll get you more details and when you can get tickets. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. Happening today, Vols baseball faces a new opponent in the NCAA Super Regionals. Tennessee taking on the University of Evansville Purple Aces. These teams have never played each other. This ought to be a great matchup. The team from Indiana upset number 16 East Carolina Monday and is making its first Super Regional appearance. Today's game starts at 2 o'clock our time, so 2 o'clock Central. The game is being played in Knoxville, so home team advantage for UT. And then the teams will also play Saturday at 10 with a Sunday game 3 if necessary. Let's talk college football now. And football season is going to be here before you know it. And that includes the Music City Bowl coming back to Nashville. The date for the Trans-Perfect Music City Bowl just announced yesterday. So now you can mark your calendar for December 30th. It's always a good time. We end up with great teams. So really looking forward to that coming back. And by the way, it'll be right there at the big New Year's Eve celebrations as well. 6:24 is the time right now, and Greg is working on a few weather projects right now, so I'm going to give you the cliff notes on your out-the-door forecast this morning. Looking so good for your Friday. And really the big takeaway for today is lower humidity. Clear skies all day, 63 at 7, 69 by 8, and then 73 degrees at 9 o'clock this morning. It's going to be a beautiful start for CMA Fest on this Friday. Let's check the traffic right now and see if things are looking equally nice.
Yeah, pretty good as we get out the door this morning. Let's take a look here at 65 at 24 on the north side of town. As you can see, traffic there moving along despite things are a little bunched up over here as you make that drive down from places like Hendersonville and Goodlettsville and Millersville. We're doing okay overall, though. No big deals as far as that drive is concerned. We'll continue to watch things from there. We're also watching a crash that we've been following since the early morning hours on I-24 close to Harding Place, making that drive in. You can see authorities on the shoulder of the road dealing with that. But overall, not a big deal, not a huge problem. They have got a tow truck on place to get in place, rather, to get that 18-wheeler out of there. But you can see the traffic moving along just fine despite everything happening. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you.
The search for a man who police say robbed a Spring Hill gas station. Pretty incredible surveillance pictures here. We'll share more in minutes. Plus concerns about whether it's safe to stay in short-term rentals in Nashville after recent arrests at several of these short-term rentals in Music City. We'll take a deeper dive on that story in minutes.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning and happy Friday to you. Burnouts on Broadway that were not NASCAR sanctioned. The charges this man is facing after the stunt downtown right before CMA Fest. And I mentioned just a moment ago an absolutely gorgeous start to this Friday. Temperatures are mild, humidity is low, so that's all good stuff to start your weekend. How's the rest of the weekend going to shape up? We'll let you know in minutes with Greg.
As steer clear traffic takes us to the north side, 65 at 24. Bit of a slow go from the north side. We just picked up something new from Clarksville to tell you about, coming up in a few.
All right. Thanks so much for starting your Friday with us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. I'm Jennifer Waddell. Erica has the day off. Let's get to your top story new this half hour. It is continuing coverage on crime at short-term rentals in the mid-state. Listen, if you or someone you know plans to stay in an Airbnb or Vrbo or another short-term rental, make sure you do your research, especially on crime in that area. 7 people just arrested and now charged with having drugs and guns at a North Nashville rental. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar with that story.
This is all part of a bigger problem we're seeing right here in Nashville. Now, here behind me on Napoleon Street, Metro Police say drugs and guns were taken from the suspects at a short-term rental. Police say 7 suspects have been arrested as a result on Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. They say a complaint led them to the short-term rental where they found 6 guns and at least 6 different types of narcotics. They then made arrests. Safety in short-term rentals is becoming an issue for some people. In the last 2 months, we've reported on 2 shootings, one at a Midtown short-term rental last month and another at a short-term rental in North Nashville in April. And over the years, Fox 17 News has reported on more crime in short-term rentals. We've reached out to the mayor's office to find out if they plan to do anything about improving safety on short-term rentals, and we haven't heard back yet. Reporting in North Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. And in Operation Crime and Justice right now, Spring Hill police are searching for a man who they say robbed a gas station at gunpoint. We've got pictures to show you here now. Police say the man was caught on camera. You can see him here with a mask over his face, and there's the gun he was using. This was inside the Murphy Express gas station. He used that gun to force a worker to hand over cash. Spring Hill police say if you see this man or have any information that could help them solve the case, you can give the number at the bottom of your screen a call.
6:32 sun is up, and the big 3 things to know here heading into the upcoming weekend is today is that perfect day in every way. Weekend storm timing has changed just a little bit, but a little change can go a real long way when it comes to all the outdoor plans this weekend, which do include your CMA outlook. Let's just start getting into it. We'll start with the here and now and then kind of expand to the big picture. All is clear when it comes to Code Red. Not a problem. Now, there will be a few weekend thunderstorms. Don't get me wrong. They will be out there for a few of us. No severe weather, no flooding, just a few run-of-the-mill summer storms. And the timing is improved for us when it comes to trying to stay away from our plans. How is this morning starting? Carefree, nice, no dense fog, no rain, dry roadways. So we'll say no influence of weather on traffic this morning other than the sunshine. Meeting our dog of the day here, though, we've got Gracie sent in by Donna from Gallatin. Gracie is ready to go. This is a good dog walking day from start to finish. I'll tell you, the entire morning and afternoon, there's not going to be a hot hour in a part of either of the morning or afternoon section of hours here. Taking a look, 83 degrees this afternoon, 84 tomorrow, 81 on Sunday, 80 on Monday. It still says a few storms for Saturday and storms early on Sunday. We're going to look through that on future track, the specific hour by hour chunking through that coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic gets us out the door to I-40 at Spence Lane. Coming in from the east side of downtown, you can see traffic there moving along pretty well. No big problems as you make that drive in so far this morning. That is great news. You got some sun glare you're dealing with overall, but really that's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things there on that east side. We are looking at a bit of a slowdown coming down from Clarksville this morning. 67 minutes here on I-24 as you make your way towards Pleasant View. Have not seen exactly what the nature of the issue is yet, but we are seeing some clear slowdowns here, and it's causing a slight delay. Not as bad as it was yesterday when we had a crash here very close to exit 24 that had the interstate all but shut down. This one is just a minor delay. You can take Highway 41 to steer clear right alongside of 24 there. That should get you into town.
Justin, thanks. 6:34 right now. Metro Police have arrested a man accused of DUI and doing burnouts on Broadway, very close to the CMA Fest zone and right before CMA Fest kicked off. Police say this man, 51-year-old Mark Gist, performed the stunts on 4th and Broadway Wednesday night. When officers pulled him over, they say he had slurred speech and admitted to drinking. They say he was also driving on a revoked license. New this morning, a silver alert in Nashville. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation asking for help finding the man you see here on your screen. This is John Hill Jr., last seen around Albion Street at 5 a.m. yesterday. Now, Albion is between Hadley Park and TSU. So if you have seen Mr. Hill, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We have a Tennessee representative jumping out of a plane and doing more to honor our veterans who fought on D-Day. And later this hour, a controversial radio host is going to lose his assets. The court judgment requiring millions of dollars. And still to come on Fox 17 News this morning as we get into our 7 o'clock hour. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. We have an update for you here at 6:38. The man who called the Sandy Hook school shooting a hoax now has to pay up big. We're talking about Alex Jones, who owes more than $1.5 billion to families of the Sandy Hook school shooting for publicly insisting the whole thing was a hoax. Those families sued Alex Jones for defamation and emotional distress. And back in 2022, a jury found him liable. But the families have not received a penny. So there is a new liquidation order that's put in place as part of a Chapter 7 bankruptcy proceeding involving Jones's personal assets. What this means is that Alex Jones will lose control of InfoWars, the lucrative company that he founded back in 1990 to spread some certain conspiracy theories. Back here at home, several members of Tennessee's congressional delegation in France yesterday for ceremonies marking 80 years since D-Day. It was the beginning of the end of World War II as thousands of our American soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy, artillery raining down from the cliffs above. More than 2,000 are now buried in the American cemetery just above. 7th District Congressman here in Tennessee, Mark Green, is a retired Army surgeon. He says freedom is never free, and he took steps to show his support.
But most of the time in history, when a country wins a war, they keep the land. And all we've ever asked for is a place to bury our dead. And I want to thank France for giving us this land to place America's sons and daughters here, to always remember the sacrifices paid for freedom.
So it was 80 years ago last night that members of the 101st and 82nd Airborne Divisions parachuted behind enemy lines, and Congressman Green parachuted yesterday to commemorate their sacrifice. 6:40 is the time right now. We've got Greg here to talk about the forecast. Greg, I feel like today might be one of those 5-star days.
And it's the only, we have not had one in a long time.
Yeah.
We had no stars on Monday. It was 90 and we had flooding. We had flooding on Tuesday and Wednesday. It was hot and humid yesterday. All those things are gone. Yeah, this is a 5-star kind of a day. Future track. I'm clicking the button right here and it's moving. Nothing's happening. You're not going to have anything to worry about. We'll be in the low to middle 80s. Right side of your screen. Your current temperatures are there all the way through 9 o'clock. I've tapped the brakes here, though, at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Listen up if you're in southern Kentucky or right along the state line in middle Tennessee. Showers, light rain showers, popping up on and off throughout the morning into early afternoon tomorrow. Most of that activity does stay well north of I-40, including Nashville. Could one or two of those sneak a little bit further south to get into the Nashville area? It's possible, not highly likely. This is the time frame I'm watching most diligently, right near midnight. If this moves in an hour or two earlier, we're talking at the end of the concert tomorrow night at Nissan Stadium. If it holds off until after midnight, we should be good to go, but that'll mean you're waking up, unfortunately, to some showers and weak storms to start off the first half of your Sunday. Curious question's a quick one. Which of the following is not a primary color? Red, white, blue, or yellow? We'll have the answer for you coming up in a few.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get to the very latest on I-65 at Trinity Lane there on the north side of town. Traffic moving along there without delay or any issue. We're doing just fine up there so far. No major delays coming in from that north side. We've been following that slowdown coming in from Clarksville, and it's starting to back up yet again. This is going to be I-24 as you approach Pleasant View, close to exit 19. So heads up in that area. You want to take Highway 41 right here. That's going to be your best bet to steer clear.
Justin, thank you. I guess you could say he's more than halfway there. Rocker John Bon Jovi now has his initials all the way on Broadway. 5 stories worth of it. We're going to take a look at his brand new honky tonk in Nashville. And veterans who are struggling with PTSD could get some help from new service dogs. We'll tell you about the push to make this an option for all of those who have served. Video are expected to be investigated by the Justice Department and the Federal Trade Commission. Now, that is according to sources cited by the Associated Press. President Joe Biden has pushed for tougher looks into these companies, possible monopoly-type practices. The FTC would review firms that are, for example, getting privileged access or perhaps undermining fair competition. So that is a story we will keep a very close eye on. And Hall of Fame rock and roller John Bon Jovi and his bandmates celebrating the grand opening of John's new Broadway bar, JBJ's. I thought maybe they would. I remember when they announced they were going to build this and we were all contemplating, oh, what might they call it? Living on a Prayer? Halfway there? No, they just went with JBJ. So they set up shop in the old Merchants restaurant location at the corner of 4th and Broadway. This new bar is 5 stories tall. They've got 3 different stages, 2 different rooftops overlooking Broadway, and a whole lot more. You're looking at the inside here. Bon Jovi says they also plan to work with the mayor to give back to the city.
You know, in our charitable world, I have 4 soul kitchens and have built 1,000 units of affordable housing. So I want to make sure that when we find the right project with the mayor, who I've been in conversation with, you'll know it.
All right, so talking about the ways he wants to give back, Bon Jovi, by the way, has a new album. It's titled Forever. It's out now. The lead singer says it was inspired by his recent vocal surgery and a renewed appreciation for making music. Welcome to Nashville. Specially trained service dogs helping ease PTSD symptoms in many of our veterans in a small study. Researchers hoping that this new information is going to give our service members more options. Fox News' Jared Halpern with more.
It gave me that opportunity of peace and ease to be able to good night's sleep.
A new study could eventually bring relief for thousands of Americans with post-traumatic stress disorder. Department of Veterans Affairs teaming up with Canines for Warriors, a nonprofit that matches specially trained service dogs with veterans suffering from PTSD. During a 3-week pilot program, the dogs bonded with their assigned veterans, learning to pick up signs of distress like panic attacks and nightmares, and interrupting those scary episodes with comforting physical contact.
Their body is exhausted from the hypervigilance that they are facing. Those with a service dog appear to be struggling less.
As part of a double-blind study, doctors compared veterans who received service dogs with those still on the waiting list, finding the 4-legged friends significantly helped to relieve symptoms while the healing process continued.
It's not intended to be a standalone treatment to cure PTSD on its own. It's intended to help veterans struggle less. And that's really what the data is showing.
The VA currently lists service dogs as not having enough clinical evidence to be prescribed to PTSD patients, but researchers are hoping that will change soon and programs like this will be expanded.
I can't really say that I've had really dark moments since I've had him. Yes, I've had moments, but they're now manageable moments.
The Veterans Affairs Department says PTSD is hitting Iraq veterans especially hard, with nearly 1/3 reporting symptoms after their deployments. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Great story. story there, and hopefully that will expand for our veterans. At 6:49 right now, we've got Greg in to talk all things weather related. And Greg, whether folks are going to CMA Fest or if you just got plans with the family or friends for the weekend, tell us when we're going to have to dodge some of these rain showers.
It's very geographically specific.
Okay.
Which is good.
Okay.
Which is very good for Nashville itself.
Good.
So we're going to get to all of that, but first, we always do a curious question here in the morning, and sometimes they're way out of left field, and sometimes I take you back to first or second grade in the old color wheel.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Which of the following is not a primary color? Red, white, blue, or yellow? I know.
Am I guessing the answer right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it if you want, yeah.
White.
Yep. See, this is one of those don't ever think it, just think back when you were a kid,
right.
you know, and then there you go. Perfect. So try to make it easy on us here for a Friday, because we deserve an easy Friday. If you're in town for CMA Fest, we had flooding earlier in the week here in the Nashville area, multiple days worth of it. Now we're looking good. And if you live here, you just want to mow the lawn. For crying out loud, we had so much rain, and it's probably very long at this point. Today is good. Tomorrow and Sunday, not so great. I would say we are dodging a few showers and storms that are geographically specific. If you're in southern Kentucky, tomorrow morning, the chance for a few showers. And then even as far south as Nashville could squeeze in 1 or 2 pop-up showers or weak storms during the afternoon. I'm really not buying into making it that far south, though. And if your golf game is that good and you're not on the green later on today or hitting the links, then come on, what are you doing? 82 degrees at noon, 84 at 3 p.m., low humidity, best day of the week. Now, we are going to really deep dive here before we even get to 7 o'clock on that specific area and timing of storms. I was a little more concerned about tomorrow night, even just 24 hours ago, than I am now. I'll let you know why, and I'll show you why in just a few minutes.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Wednesday's severe weather produced 7 confirmed tornadoes in the Washington, D.C. region from West Virginia, Northern Virginia, and into Maryland. The National Weather Service says most were rated EF1. The other 2 were EF0s. To Illinois, where this Cooper's Hawk was looking weathered while taking a rest on a car after a storm.
Want to see your weather photos and videos on TV? Click Chime In on this station's website to share.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. This is coming in from Antioch. We are dealing with a good amount of traffic out there. We did see some slowdowns here a short time ago. It really did. It was starting to bunch up here a little bit, causing some slowdowns. Whatever it is that was causing that has loosened up, and we're in much better shape right now. Here's your overall drive times. You're still dealing with that crash happening in the Clarksville area as you make your way down towards Pleasant View. 71 minutes on that drive. Everybody else, you're in the green still. Murfreesboro, 57 minutes. Franklin, 25 minutes.
6:51 right now. An emotional moment caught at yesterday's D-Day ceremony in Normandy, France. Watch and listen.
You're the savior of the people.
That is Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky hugging a World War II veteran who fought on that day 80 years ago, telling him, no, you saved Europe. During the ceremony yesterday, President Biden was there. He praised Ukraine during the D-Day ceremony, comparing the war in Ukraine to World War II. The president himself, though, being criticized for leaving that ceremony early and seeming confused on the stage during the events. Also interesting takeaway from yesterday, France announced plans to provide Ukraine with French-made combat aircraft to help be safe. Welcome in and happy Friday here on Fox 17 News this morning. Sun's up, looking good to kick off your weekend. We are your live local news source through 9 a.m. If you are visiting Nashville, welcome to town. Hope you have a great time while you're here. For those of you who wake up with us every weekday morning, we love you too. We're glad you're here. A quick reminder, when the other stations go to national network programming in a few minutes, that's pre-recorded. That's not even live here in Nashville, but we'll be your live local news source through 9 a.m. And right now, we're giving you a chance to get 2 free tickets to go to Brew at the Zoo. This is such a great Nashville event. The locals love it. Visitors have had so much fun. It's happening Friday, June 14th at the Nashville Zoo. They've got, of course, all the animals that'll be on display, live music, local food trucks, and dozens of craft beers at this after-hours adult-only event. So Brew at the Zoo, we're going to give you 2 tickets. All you have to do is scan that QR code right there on your screen. It'll give you a link to register to win. If you want more details, go to fox17.com. I mentioned it's an adult only. You have to be 21 and over. If you want to take a look at the data rates and contest details, again, those are at fox17.com. All right, mentioned it just a moment ago. Today is National Donut Day. We've already had a special delivery here at the station. Anybody want a donut? There are a few left. Hold on. I mean, they just sent them, and we're already slipped.
The lifelong debate, which one do you pick, right?
Which one do you? We have chocolate frosted, vanilla frosted. We have a cruller. I think that's a maple glaze. Kendall, you want a donut? Are you good? Not right now? Okay. All right. Well, I'll hold on to these here. But Dunkin' and so many other donut shops are offering freebies for today. Let's take a look here. The day celebrating, of course, one of America's favorite little sweet treats, created in Chicago back in 1938 to honor the Salvation Army Donut Lassies. The Donut Lassies served the treats to soldiers during World War I. And now donut chains all over the country are marking the day with deals. Dunkin', you can get a free classic donut with the purchase of any drink. At Krispy Kreme, you can score a free donut with no purchase necessary. We have a lot of other mom and pop shops as well around town that'll give you a free donut. Just ask when you go in and enjoy. Question is, do you put your donut in the microwave? Do you warm it up or do you eat them cold?
It depends how old it is.
Greg says it depends on the age of the donut.
Day of, no, but a day or two later and it's not quite the fluffiness, then yes, I do. Also, a question I got for you. I was reading along with the script there for you. I've got it spelled like this.
Oh, yes. 2 different ways to spell donut.
How do you spell donut when you're writing it down in your day-to-day? Think about it.
I think I spell it the way you have it on the screen.
And only in the United States do we throw out the actual pronunciation or the actual spelling that's used by the rest of the entire world.
The D-O-U-G-H.
They all spell it like that except for us, so we have to be unique. Here's your forecast this morning. Grab a donut, get some coffee, enjoy some sunshine. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s through 10 o'clock this morning. Nothing to worry about. Future track going to stay dry all day long. You're going to aim for the 80s, low to middle 80s this afternoon. You can see by 6 a.m. tomorrow, though. This is what I was talking about by geographical specificity of where these showers are going to be. Yeah, it's 2 big words. Where do you live? Will it rain? Here we are. Southern Kentucky. Tomorrow morning, there'll be a few showers that could linger far enough south to clip Nashville. Many, many more dry hours than rainy hours morning into the afternoon. Keep that in mind. This is the timing we have to watch. 1 a.m. showing storms beginning to come in from the northwest, tracking toward the Nashville area. If they fire off even an hour or 2 earlier, they could impact the concerts at Nissan Stadium. I have got good news for you, though. As we go into our 7 o'clock half hour, I get brand new weather updates to even these computer models. Any changes that I see, I'll get to you in real time coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, steer clear.
Steer clear traffic right now at 6:59. Things are looking A-OK on your morning commute. This is I-24 at Harding Place over in the Antioch part of town. And honestly, even the inbound traffic to Nashville right now, not too thick. Moving along at a nice clip here. We do have a couple of other slowdowns in the mid-state, but no current crashes that we're real worried about. Little slow coming in from Clarksville, little slow coming in from Millersville this morning. But again, all in all, no major concerns. There's your commute time right there. Clarksville to downtown standing at 71 minutes. Murfreesboro into downtown, you're less than an hour right now, which is always a good thing. And Franklin to downtown, 25 minutes. Let's pop on over to the website, fox17.com, and see what's trending. In other words, what are you most interested in reading about right now? The #1 trending story is Tennessee Highway Patrol adding a new make of vehicles to their fleet. So if you want to check that out, that's the top story right now. The second trending story is one of our big stories this morning on the show, and that is the arrest of 7 people along with the confiscation of guns and drugs at a short-term rental property in Nashville. We've got more of your live local headlines starting now in our 7 o'clock hour.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, more than just music when it comes to CMA Fest. They're trying to keep you fit at the same time. We'll take you downtown and show you how live in minutes.
And I'll work you through your forecast in the next couple of days, because staying fit but also staying hydrated and comfortable. We'll work you through all 3 days in just a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic gets us south of town. 65 at Armory Drive, looking pretty good on that drive coming in. We're going to give you the latest traffic updates coming up in just a few. Just after 7 o'clock, congratulations, you made it to Friday. I'm Justin McFarland.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. We kick off this hour with a couple of updates to breaking news stories we've been following for you all morning long. We begin with the crash in the heart of Nashville involving a cement truck. This was on Rosa Parks earlier this morning around 3 o'clock, right near the intersection of Jefferson Street and Rosa Parks.
Now, Metro Police tell us that it was an SUV that may have run a red light and crashed into that cement truck. The driver of the cement truck as well as the SUV were both taken to the hospital for treatment. They are expected to be okay, we are told.
Another breaking news story where we can update you now. Firefighters have left this home in Antioch after an early morning house fire. Crews showed up there, according to dispatch, when the fire started around 3:30 this morning in the garage area. No injuries reported, which is the great news here, and we are still working with investigators so they can figure out what started it and how the family is going to move forward. We'll keep you posted on both of these breaking news stories on air and online at fox17.com.
Well, CMA Fest has already added a special stage that you would never really expect. A stage where you are actually part of the show, but it comes at a price a little bit.
Yeah, you might have to leave your cowboy outfit at the door. Here is Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live downtown now to explain.
Good morning. You might think of CMA Fest as a place to grab a beer, some hot chicken, listen to country music, and even dance. But what about getting a workout? Well, that's exactly what this stage is going to be offering, and that stage is going to be right across from the Bridgestone Arena at Good Molecules Reverb Stage. This is as close as we can get for now, but we will be taking a closer look later in the show. Fitness at Fest is a 3-day fitness event with celebrity trainers and rising country stars. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a $15 registration fee, and as we mentioned, if you are planning to wear cowboy boots, please don't, because you're going to be dancing around in those and getting some blisters on your feet. Reporting live downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I mean, here's the thing. If you know you're about to have a day of like all the food and the drinks and all the things, might as well start the day off right with a little fitness class.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple ways to look at it, right? And the weather's great this morning.
Yeah, you know, some people do a 5K before Thanksgiving. You know, it's just, you know, a way to make sure you burn the calories before.
It's like the CMA version of a turkey trot.
Yeah, just, you know, just making sure that you burn the calories before you consume them. That's all. So we wanted to ask them, how much time do you plan to spend at the CMA Fest? Now, listen, those of us who lived here for a long time know that the CMA Fest, well, the way we think of it is that it's mostly for tourists. Now, there are things for local people to do. There's lots of free stages. You can go down there without spending a dime. But a lot of people say, yeah, I've been there and done that, so I'm not going down there. 93% of you saying, yeah, you don't plan to spend any time downtown at the CMA Fest.
I got tickled at somebody on Facebook yesterday, a mom who took her teenage son to CMA Fest. They went downtown, did all the things yesterday, and they're local.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're local. I got tickled because she said, listen, we got home and I was exhausted. Like, couldn't move, done for the day. She said my teenage son was out cutting the grass, cleaning the car, doing the thing.
That's that youthful energy is all that is.
That's exactly
it's
right.
It's just that youth on your side. Don't waste the youthful energy. It's incredible. Trust me.
Felt that deeply.
Amazing.
Then you hit the age where like you got out of bed and you're hurt before you even think about doing.
Like I've been in the sun all day. I listened to the music. I ate the stuff, and now I'm done. I'm tired.
That's a day's work right there at that point.
Hurt yourself just stretching at a certain age.
Right.
I think just
get to Greg here.
Oh man, if you are going to anything CMA related, I'm gonna have you covered in that forecast. And if you are one of the 93% of people that voted that are not going to CMA Fest, I will look at some other things and areas you can go do to get away from downtown the next couple of days. But today is the best day outside no matter what. Humidity takes a hike for today and tomorrow. We're timing some weekend rain that is possible in small pockets in small amounts of time. That's good. Just have to know when they are. We'll work through it. Taking a look, all clear for Code Red. What is Code Red if you're not from the area or just watching, for the first time? Code Red, if you see this arrow slide up, means either dangerous weather or weather that could become dangerous in the near future. None of that. Showers and storms, nothing to worry about the next couple of days when they roll through. 69 degrees, plenty of sunshine. Temperature's going to be in the low to mid 80s. No humidity. And this time of the year, if we can keep temps in the low to mid 80s for 3 days in a row over a weekend and keep out the humidity and severe weather, that's a winning forecast right there. We'll work you through it. We'll take a look at some of the stages for CMA Fest and then a few, again, of the areas outside of town you can try to find some activities as well.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning at 7:06. Quick look here at I-24 Harding Place, making that drive in from the Antioch area. We're doing okay out there. Had a bit of a slowdown earlier this morning here, but things are doing much better now. Still dealing with the slowdown on 24 coming out from Clarksville. 72 minutes right now. It's about an hour and 12 minutes because of a slowdown very close to exit 19 coming down from Clarksville this morning. So you want to take Highway 41 as the best way to steer clear.
At 7:06 right now, Tennessee State University hoping they have a better plan this year to deal with housing their students. School officials giving a report to new board members. 6-hour-long meeting.
Yeah, had a lot to discuss.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that a little bit later here in just a few moments.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering with Feeding America.
7:09 is the time. Last year, Fox 17 News brought you lots of stories about housing problems at Tennessee State University. The university had lots of students staying off campus at hotels because they were simply out of space on campus. This year, though, school officials say they're getting out of the hotel business. They explain why.
We don't expect and we're not anticipating that we haven't reached out for any hotels this year. We do have a 3-year agreement that we're in the middle of with House of God, which gives us 150 beds. We have a 5-year agreement with Jefferson Flats, which gives us about 62 beds. Those beds at Jefferson Flats, we're leaning towards providing some level of graduate housing for the first time this fall. Graduate students who come here out of state, they cannot afford to live in Nashville and go to grad school. So we got to lean into that market as well.
Now, TSU is building more housing. The school will break ground on a $180 million new dorm that will be home for 719 students. They're hoping to break ground on that dorm a little bit later this month. It won't be ready, though, until 2026. A developing story out of Robertson County, that is where power has now been restored to more than 1,000 people. This is after a crash that happened overnight. According to our friends over at Smoky Barn News, a commercial vehicle overturned on Mount Zion Road and Washington Road just before 2 o'clock this morning. Now, the Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation reported that nearly 1,300 people lost power after that crash happened. According to their website, the power has now been restored to all customers in that area. Well, the Fox 17 News team has a long tradition of being involved in our community and the Country Music Association. And you can see that tradition starting to continue a little bit later today as we'll be helping out down at the CMA Fest. Now, our Fox 17 sports director, Jill Jelnick, will be down there starting at around 10 o'clock this morning. Then our own Jennifer Waddell will join her on stage at 11 o'clock. They will be down there at the Dr. Pepper Amp stage at Ascend Amphitheater Park there, so you can go down there and check them out again. So that's starting at 10 o'clock this morning for Jill, 11 o'clock this morning for Jen.
And coming up next in your forecast, the big question always is how hot, how humid is going to rain? The 3 big ones. No rain today, but there will be some by the end of the weekend. I'll time out for you.
And I-65 at Armory Drive at 100 Oaks. As you can see there, nice drive coming in from the south side of town. If you got that early morning doctor's appointment.
For a limited time.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Time right now, 7:14. And Greg just mentioned we have more than CMA Fest happening this weekend. All right, and let's talk rodeo. This morning, Josh Draper with the Sumner Prevention Coalition is joining us to talk about y'all's involvement in what's going to be a great event there in Sumner County.
It is a great event, and Greg, I don't know if Greg mentioned it yet, but very low humidity today, so it feels incredible outside. He's giving me a thumbs up over there. So, yeah, it's at Triple Creek Park in Gallatin, and all of the ticket sales and proceeds go towards preventing substance abuse in the community, which, I mean, we know is a big issue right now. Yeah. So as far as the rodeo goes, it's a legit rodeo. It's an IPRA sanctioned event, and it will be calf roping, barrel racing, bronc riding, bull riding, the whole shebang. So it's going to be a big time. And food vendors, other craft vendors. We had several thousand there last year. It's a big deal. So,
Josh, why substance abuse as the main proceeds here for this?
Well, that's what we focus on. That is our stated goal and mission. For me personally, I'm in recovery, and so I know how important the prevention side of everything is. You know, and in this world, you've got treatment, you've got recovery, you've got mental health services. But if we can prevent the things from ever happening, if we can prevent substance abuse from ever happening, we don't have to deal with that other heartache and other stuff afterwards. So we do a lot of stuff in schools. We do a lot of, I actually met Jennifer at an event that we were doing, a songwriter showcase, where we kind of push the message out. And, you know, our biggest thing is youth, and we want to get kids involved. We want them teaching the same stuff that we're teaching. So we try to get as many activities going that way as we can.
Well, and the Sumner Prevention Coalition is the group that's working to do that in Sumner County. They do a lot of really important work, and the rodeo, just one fun way to kind of highlight what you're doing in the background. And listen, tickets are still available.
They are.
It's 2 nights. So you've got tonight and tomorrow.
Gates open at 6, tonight, tomorrow night.
Okay.
It'll run till about 10, 10:30, somewhere in there.
And you can get tickets at the gate, right?
You can get tickets at the gate. They're $15 for adults at the gate. They're $5 for kids, 6 to 12. Under 6 is free. So if you don't want to do CMA Fest and spend a bunch of money there, you can come and not have to spend so much money.
Save less money.
Right.
A lot less money for them.
Cheaper out there in Gallatin.
Absolutely.
Or hey, listen, just keep on the cowboy cowgirl outfit in the boots and shimmy over to the rodeo.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You can do both.
Yeah, you can do both in the same day. So.
Josh Draper, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
And I mean, weather, big deal. I've already mentioned no humidity, so let's talk about rain. I'm going to click the button. That's today. So there's no excuses if you want to get out there. You have no problems in the forecast at all. And even tomorrow evening looks great as well. I'm going to pick those little pockets here of rain that are going to be on the radar for us. Tomorrow morning, if you're right along the state line here going Middle Tennessee into southern Kentucky, you could catch a shower or two. Light and very, very short-lived, but there could be 1 or 2 that do flame up between 6 o'clock and 11 a.m. And then from 11 o'clock through about 1 or 2, a few more of these pockets of rain do develop. More dry hours than rainy hours. Most of us see nothing. If you're south of I-40, you might not see anything at all tomorrow until the nighttime. Now we'll kind of go back to Nashville proper. We'll talk about Nissan Stadium, CMA Fest, taking a look. We do know that those concerts let out around midnight. If this fires off before, even by an hour or two of what we're seeing on Future Track, that could mean lightning close to downtown. So we'll keep our eyes on this as we go throughout the rest of today and tomorrow, all the forecast updates that we're seeing here in the Weather Center. And we'll let you know way ahead of time. But just know, clear bag policies for everything down there, and you can't take an umbrella. Be mindful of that. Ponchos are probably a good way to go, though. And then taking a look, going all the way through your Sunday, things dry out after the first half of the day. So to wrap it all up, we have no rain today, so get out there for your golf game. Temperature will be 73 degrees at 9 a.m., 82 at noon, 84 at 3 p.m. with that sunshine and low humidity. And then we do have a chance for a shower or two far north tomorrow during the morning and early afternoon. Best chance for rain will be Saturday night into Sunday morning. And we could see a few storms, but no severe weather expected.
Sarah, clear traffic gets us out to I-24 at Harding Place as you make that drive in towards the Antioch area. We're doing really nice out there so far. No major slow ups or tie ups there for you. We're in nice shape. Taking a look at the drive coming down from Clarksville, it's not so nice. There is a slow up there near the Pleasant View area, so heads up in that area there. You want to try to take Highway 41. That's going to be your best bet in order to steer clear as you make your drive down through Pleasant View into Clarksville. We will continue to keep you up to date on everything happening, including drive times from the other sides of town coming up in a few.
All right, let's get to more headlines here this Friday morning. Operation Crime and Justice now. Metro Nashville police are still looking for a woman missing for 42 years out of Nashville. This is the story of Veda Lou Powers, who disappeared May 26th, 1982, after dropping her children off at daycare and taking her sister to work.
Police say the 29-year-old Powers went to work at St. Thomas West Hospital that day. Police say that her sister told her she was going home, but she was never seen again. A few days later, Powers' abandoned car was found at 14th Avenue South at Edgehill Avenue, around 4 blocks from her home. Powers today would be 71 years old.
Wow. And the search continues. Police have not given up on that case. Spring Hill police right now looking for the man you see here on your screen, suspected of robbing a Spring Hill gas station. We'll tell you what police know so far in minutes. 7:23 is the time. Developing now, a driver in Robertson County is in critical condition this morning after this crash on I-24. Look at the damage to this car. According to Smoky Barn News, it happened just after 6 o'clock yesterday morning, just north and a little west of Pleasant View. And while this crash happened yesterday morning, it's also the same spot where Justin is tracking a problem right now in steer clear traffic, which kind of makes you wonder, is there something weird going on in that area where we'd have 2 problems, right, 2 mornings in a row? What we know right now, though, the car in this case from yesterday crashed into a tractor trailer. The driver of the car did go to the hospital in critical condition. The driver of the semi involved also went to the hospital and is expected to be okay.
Operation Crime and Justice. Spring Hill police are now searching for the man they say robbed a gas station at gunpoint. Scary situation here every time we see one of these videos. Police say it happened yesterday afternoon inside of the Murphy's Express gas station. Police say that the man on your screen used a handgun. You're getting a close look at it right there to force a worker to hand over some cash. Now, Spring Hill police are asking if you've seen this man or know anything more about this robbery. You're asked to call the number on your screen.
And here we're taking a look at your forecast. Another national day. It's a good day here for some sunshine, being outdoors. National Chocolate Ice Cream Day. Grab yourself a cone. Whether it's soft serve, you want chunky ice cream, whatever your flavor and your type might be. 79 degrees at 11, 82 degrees at noon, 83 at 1 p.m. That sun all day long. It'll be nice and refreshing for you. I want to give you the sneak peek ahead to what we're going to start covering here as we go into our 7:30 half hour. And this will be our CMA Fest Big Keys to Success to get through this weekend and enjoy all of it with as few hiccups in the forecast as possible. There will be a few rain chances. I'm going to find them, pinpoint them hour by hour, and then also look ahead to the many dry hours we have. Temperature outlooks, cool in the morning, also cool well after sunset with highs that'll be below average. So we're going to put all these pieces together. We'll take a look at a couple of the acts that are at a few of the stages, and we'll get through the entire 3 days worth of CMA Fest events, and also give you a sneak peek into next week if we can continue on a relatively calm weather pattern.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's take a good look here at what we're dealing with at I-24 Shelby Avenue, the heart of downtown Nashville. We're rolling along pretty well. No major tie-ups or delays right now on that particular drive. We're doing okay. The slowdown coming in from Clarksville looks like this. This is going to be I-24 coming in from Clarksville through Pleasant View. We do have a crash there around mile marker 19, we understand, where things are slowed up and backed up there in that area. So crews are on the scene trying to deal with that. The best way to steer clear is Highway 41. You want to use that to try to fight through some of that traffic to get you back on 24.
7:26 right now is your time, and in your community, check this out. We had the folks from Nashville SC doing good in the community. They decided to take a break and clean up parts of Nashville. Now, technically, they're on their international break right now, but the boys in gold teamed up with the Nobody Trashes Tennessee campaign, which helps to clean up parts of Nashville. So, as you might imagine, they chose the area around Geodis Park, which is, you know, their home turf. The next match is set for June 15th against the New York Red Bulls.
Well, also coming up, they're going to be working up a sweat over at CMA before the party even starts. Karen Aguilar is live.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, fitting fitness into the CMA weekend. Karen Aguilar live downtown to let us know about fitness at the fest.
And of course, you want to know best times to get out. What should I take? What should I even wear just to avoid not being comfortable? Well, here we go. We'll make sure you have the most comfortable forecast possible coming your way.
And how's traffic looking here on your Friday? Well, good grief, it looks great here. This is over by the airport where a lot of folks are coming and going for CMA Fest and, of course, any other activities. Don't forget, we still got, bachelorette parties.
Oh, yeah.
Bridal showers,
rodeos,
all the things, and looking good right here. We'll check in again on Steer Clear Traffic in just a few minutes.
Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning, just after 7:30. Congratulations, you made it to Friday. I'm Justin McFarland.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Let's kick off this half hour with continuing coverage of CMA Fest. And yes, we know a lot of locals kind of steer clear of this every year, but so much is new this year, and that does include a specialty stage that you might not expect.
Now, we're talking about a stage where you are actually part of the show, but it does come at a price because doing so in your cowboy boots may not be the best move to make.
Yeah, this would require a wardrobe change for sure. Here's Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live now to explain.
Good morning. That's right. So if you are planning to get up early this morning, if you are up and watching, grab your workout gear and head right here to where I'm standing by the Bridgestone Arena towards the Gold Molecules Reverb stage, because as you can see, there's all these mats right here laid out beside me for a class that's about to start in 30 minutes. Now, this is a huge deal. People usually think of CMA Fest as grabbing a beer, some hot chicken, but this is a great time to get that workout in, get your blood pumping, to be able to enjoy the festivities in a great mood. Now, coming up in the next half hour, I'm planning to speak to a personal trainer who'll give you a little bit some insight on what this class entails. Now, this class isn't just for today. It's also going to be Saturday and Sunday, all starting at 8 a.m. And to register, it's only $15. So I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I'm planning to come to the CMA Fest myself. And now that I know that Fitness at Fest is happening, I might actually wake up and come to one of these classes. Reporting live here in Nashville, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
I mean, listen, it's all about what motivates you.
Karen, I give you all the credit. The first thing I said during your live shot was I saw behind you there's the first aid tent.
Yeah.
So I'd be the first person in that thing if I went and did it. Also, what's so funny, looking downtown right now, this harkens me back, as you mentioned, bachelorettes that are here. Of the ones that didn't know the NFL draft was going on back in 2019.
Oh, right.
And the rage of some people.
Right.
So hopefully we all know what's going on downtown this weekend. 69 degrees, sunshine, low humidity, good start to the day this afternoon, low to middle 80s. Gear up for a nice one. Lighter clothing still going to help you out though because of the sun, but at least you're not dealing with any showers or storms. Today is a perfect day. Weekend storm timing, I've put all the storms into about a 6-hour window, and I've condensed that box into an area of time where it should be okay for everything CMA Fest worthy. So we'll take a look at that. We'll give you the full outlook. We'll talk about some stages, some folks that are right here from Fox 17 News that'll be out there throughout the weekend. You can go say hi to. Lots of stuff coming your way, and of course, that one little box of timing for the storms I'll look at on Future Track.
Steer clear traffic at 7:33. Quick look here at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard near Gallatin Pike. Coming down from Sumter County, looking really nice out there so far this morning. May need the sunglasses. It looks so good. So heads up as you make that drive in. Here's a look at your drive times right now. Clarksville to downtown is 67 minutes. The only slowdown to tell you about is out there on I-24 coming down from the Clarksville area near Pleasant View, causing some minor delays. You want to use Highway 41 at Clarksville Highway. That's going to be your best way to steer clear.
Right now, a nonprofit government watchdog group called OpenTheBooks.com has found that last year, Metro Nashville police made more traffic stops than in previous years, but they issued fewer tickets, and many of those tickets never got paid up.
We're joined this morning by Rachel O'Brien from OpenTheBooks.com. She's got a complete breakdown of the findings. And Rachel, just how many traffic stops were made last year versus how many tickets were actually written?
So Metro PD filed about 21,000 traffic tickets in traffic court last year. Only about half of those tickets were paid, about 52%. So that is odd, considering that last year was the first year that Metro PD increased the number of their traffic stops. So about more than a decade ago in 2012, there are 450,000 traffic stops. And for years, those numbers dipped lower and lower, hitting just a fraction of that, well under 50,000 traffic stops in 2021, 2022. So last year was the first time that those numbers crept up slightly, about 25%. But again, those stops didn't translate into more tickets issued. In fact, it was fewer tickets in the previous 2 years.
And Rachel, we're always curious to get perspective on stories like this. So how does Nashville and what's going on here line up with other years?
Well, so these traffic tickets, the almost 21,000 in traffic court last year. So about 21,000 in 21 and 22, there were about 1,000 more tickets each year, about 22,000 tickets. Doesn't necessarily sound like a lot more, but in 21, 70% of those tickets were paid. In 22, 62% of those fines were paid. Last year, only 52% of ticket fines were paid. So last year, there were more traffic stops, fewer overall tickets written, and a much lower percentage of those fines paid. So these additional traffic stops don't appear to be paying off, literally.
Very interesting. All right, Rachel O'Brien, thank you so much. Of course, you can find out more of the work they're doing over on the website, openthebooks.com.
At 7:30, just about 7:36, we have a man facing charges right now, accused of doing burnouts on Broadway. Not connected to NASCAR, right? When NASCAR comes to town, they do that intentionally. This guy, no. What Metro Police say he did right before the start of CMA Fest.
And watching your steer clear traffic as you get out the door this morning, this is going to be a...
Good morning and welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. In Operation Crime and Justice right now, a Nashville man is facing charges of driving under the influence, reckless driving, and driving on a revoked license in downtown Nashville right near the CMA Fest zone.
Police say, we're going to put a man on your screen. There he is right there. He is Mark Gist. He was performing burnouts on 4th Avenue and Broadway. Now, first of all, 4th Avenue and Broadway is not a lot of space to do burnouts on, just a normal night. When NASCAR does it, they kind of clear all the traffic out.
That's right.
He's down there doing burnouts, in the middle of,
Wow.
So they pulled him over. They say he had slurred speech as well as admitted to drinking some alcohol. Police say he was also driving on a revoked license. So he wasn't even legally supposed to be behind the wheel of anything, let alone doing burnouts in a busy area.
Double trouble. All right, 7:40 right now. In news across our state, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee visiting summer learning camps in Cheatham and Obion counties. Summer learning camps here in our state are designed to strengthen student achievement as part of Tennessee's K-3 literacy strategy. Trying to make sure those kiddos, as they get into the 3rd and the 4th grade, are on reading level so that they can progress to the next grade. So there you have it.
It's very cool.
A lot of work is put in during the summer for kids,
Oh, yeah. A lot of work. And it's even cool that these kids even get to learn a little bit about government. Learning probably who's the governor and what does he do? Oh,
good point.
Very cool.
Very cool indeed. Time right now closing in on 7:41. This is that time of the morning where we meet our dog of the day and we go, it's either good for a walk, you want your toy. I use the trigger words. I mean, I can say it because Gracie already has the tennis ball. I mean, Gracie's already ready to go on the walk and have the toy ready to go. Love our dog of the day this morning, Donna. Thank you from Gallatin for sending in this beautiful picture. And it'll be a nice day at any point you want to get out there with Gracie, whether it's this morning, afternoon, evening. Go for it. Maybe just some sunglasses and a bottle of water, and you should be set. 69 degrees at 8 o'clock, 77 by 10, and then up near 80 at 11. Now, today will be in the 80s. The difference between today's 80s and yesterday's 80s, we had the humidity. We're a little bit higher in the 80s yesterday. So today should be a little more manageable. Send us your dog of the day by going to Facebook, my pinned post right there at the top. Pretty hard to miss. That's how you submit your dog of the day, and you can see them right here on Fox 17 News this morning. Today, here's Future Track. Nothing moves in other than just the sunshine and the 80s by the afternoon. We're going to pick up where we just left off right here, though. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. into the afternoon and overnight. Timing out some showers and storms, and then let's look at your forecast.
All right, everyone, let's get to your steer clear traffic. Let's get you out to I-40 at Donaldson Pike, very close to the airport out there. We are rolling along just fine. No big problems in either direction out there for you this morning. So that is certainly great news. We were following a crash coming in from the Clarksville area. So let's show you that. 68 minutes on that drive. But I've got good news for you this morning. If you take a closer look, you see that? That's Highway 41A. It's all in the green. So good opportunity for you to take that to steer clear for you this morning.
Working to keep their schools safe, and in this case, make them even safer. We're going to take you to Wilson County, where they're looking at a $900,000 addition in the name of school safety.
Thanks for watching Fox 17 News this morning. You take a live look.
Breaking news in the economy right now. U.S. employers have added 272,000 jobs in the last month. However, as we first reported as breaking news yesterday, the nation's jobless rate also has gone up, breaking a 27-month streak of below 4% unemployment. Wall Street Journal reports that investors have been waiting on some more clues onto how the economy is faring and how soon the Federal Reserve might start cutting interest rates. We understand the Fed's next policy decision is due next Wednesday. We'll let you know just as soon as we hear more about that.
Crisis in the classroom this morning. Wilson County schools are now investing $900,000 for security film. Now, this is to keep the glass from shattering in case it is hit by gunfire. Now, on Monday, the Wilson County Board of Education decided to make a unanimous vote to get the money approved for this particular security film. It will be installed on some of the lower level windows. Ultimately, the multi-level windows at several of the schools will also get this film. A district spokesperson says that the film will hopefully be installed at all of their schools within the next 6 to 8 months.
New this morning, we have a silver alert in Nashville. TBI asking for help finding the man right here on your screen. This is John Hill Jr., last seen around Albion Street around 5 o'clock yesterday morning. Albion is in the area between Hadley Park and TSU. By the way, just in case you're new to the area or not familiar, when we get a silver alert from the TBI, this is an alert where they're trying to find someone who might have a hard time getting back home safely on their own.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we can find Mr. Hill. If you have any information, you can call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
Well, we are continuing our coverage with the CMA Fest. This particular weekend, we know that thousands of people come here from around the world, quite literally. They save up all year just to come to Nashville to take part in our great city.
All ages, all backgrounds, and we're hearing from the fans directly this morning with Fox 17 News reporter Peyton Muse joining us live on Broadway.
Yeah, good morning, Jen and Justin. I was actually pretty surprised to see this many people out at 7:45 in the morning. Now, we have Lisa Hazard and Kay Cross here. Lisa, she's from Gallatin, so this is your second year doing CMA Fest.
That's right.
And this is your first year coming from Cincinnati. So
Correct.
maybe share some tips and tricks for people. It's their first year. You got 1 year under your belt. It's their first time coming to CMA Fest. What are some tips that you would share with people?
Don't wear cowboy boots. Wear comfortable shoes. Bring a water bottle to refill. Lip stuff, sunscreen, and just have a freaking ball.
And who are you most excited to see perform? I know we've got some really good people.
Probably Breland today. He's at Riverfront. Yeah, probably Breland.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Breland too. Yeah.
Were you guys here yesterday?
No.
No?
No.
Are you guys coming for the rest of the weekend, or are you just doing one day?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yep.
How come?
Just today. I don't know. We're going to go out on the boat tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. So, coming from Cincinnati all the way here to Nashville, I mean, what made you decide to come to CMA Fest this year?
She had such a good time last year and talked me into coming, and I've always wanted to see what it was like with all the stars and just to see what it was like during Fan Fest.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So again, we have 90,000 people expected to show up just for CMA Fest. Reporting live downtown, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your code station.
Oh man, so much to do here in Nashville, and it's not just CMA Fest. If you are wanting to just avoid Nashville altogether and looking for something else to do outside with this great weather tonight, I want to tell you about Springfield's first Fridays series. It kicks off, and it's a great time in the heart of downtown Springfield. Here's what I love.
Nice shot.
Yeah, so this is downtown Springfield. That's the courthouse, and thousands of people in this beautiful historic square will fill the streets for shopping, dining, live music. They've got an entire kids zone down there. They dance in the streets, Justin.
Yeah.
They dance in the streets and have a ball. So just wanted to let you know this is another great local event. They've got the whole kids zone and more than 80 local vendors.
Very cool. Springfield is just to the north of us there in Robertson County of downtown Nashville there. They've done a lot of work in recent years on their particular town square revitalization, a lot of different projects. So it's looking good down there. You can go out there and take part. They do this on the first Friday of each month from May through October. So they still have more of these First Friday events coming up here in July. That's when the next one will be, July the 5th there. Right after the 4th of July, obviously.
Yeah, big back-to-back celebrations. This morning at 7:50 right now, we want to...
boy.
You think it's hot here. I want to take you to Phoenix. This is a live look from what I used to refer to as the concrete jungle of Phoenix. Now, when we lived in Arizona, we lived in Tucson, which was more of a desert oasis.
Yeah.
Phoenix, record-breaking temperature right now. So if you think it's hot here, try 115.
Oh, man.
For days in a row.
Now, 115, they say all the time it's a drier heat, but I can't imagine 115 would feel great no matter how the humidity is.
No.
It's more like a frying pan, they say, than an oven.
It is. I remember people telling me when we moved out there, oh, don't worry, you'll acclimate. You know, you'll get used to it.
How do you acclimate to 115?
No, I don't know, because I never did. 115, it is so hot, and so that's why we came back here. It is so hot and so dry out there that when you sweat in that kind of heat, the salt that comes out of your body instantly crystallizes on your skin.
Interesting.
And I learned that the first time I ever played golf out there. It was like 100 degrees, no humidity, having a ball, and I looked down at my arms. And they were sparkly. And I was like,
you look like Edward from Twilight.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. I didn't put sparkles on me, and it was the salt.
Wow.
Leaving my body.
The stuff you don't think about here in Middle Tennessee.
Exactly.
No, you don't at all.
Exactly.
So, Greg, we're not going to quite hit 115 today, right?
We're not extra crispy. We're not sparkly glowing later today.
Good.
That's not happening by any means. As far as the forecast does go, we're going to go two ways with this. We're going to do a little CMA Fest and then do a little bit not. So, here we are, CMA Fest. Jen, you're going to be out there later on, later this morning, leaving in a couple hours here at the Dr. Pepper Amp stage. I'm jealous that you were out there because some of my favorites are going to be at that stage. You have Uncle Cracker, you have Josh Grayson, you've got Thompson Square. Jill Jelnick will be out there at 11 o'clock, so she'll be there a little after Jen starts. And then maybe you want to do what Peyton's guests this morning had, or her interviewees had, and you want to get out on the boat. Well, today's looking good. We're going to be right near 80 degrees, but tomorrow, one more thing that's not CMA Fest, it's Tennessee Free Fishing Day. Get out on the water. Maybe you want to get away from downtown. Tomorrow, no rain during our daylight hours. We'll pencil in some rain for the overnight tomorrow in the next check of your forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a good look here at what we've got going on. I-40 at Donaldson Pike out near the airport. If you've got a flight this morning, picking someone up, dropping someone off, maybe you drive Uber and you're out there all the time, just going back and forth. You're in good shape getting out there so far this morning. We did have a crash at I-24 at Haywood Lane. That's down on the south and east side. We are dealing with minor delays in that area. We're going to show you more about that coming up in a few.
A sweet and salty combo. The Nashville landmarks that are teaming up during CMA Fest.
See you tomorrow.
7:56 is the time happening today. Two of Nashville's most iconic landmarks are teaming up to give folks a little sweet and salty experience at the CMA Fest.
I love a sweet salty combo. I just do. I know a lot of people do. If you like biscuits and chocolate, well, man, you are in luck, because from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. today and tomorrow, the Loveless Cafe, famous for the biscuits, is setting up shop at Goo Goo Cluster, famous for their chocolate treats. And what they're serving up are fresh Loveless Cafe biscuits that are combined with Goo Goo Cluster mixes.
Interesting.
And that's what you're looking at on your screen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to give out vouchers at the cafe for Uber rides. You'll also get some fans, like some paper fans, if you're going to be at CMA Fest, help you beat the heat a little bit.
Okay. So,
would you try it? Do you like the sweet salty combo?
Yeah, I would try it. If you can get down there, that's the thing. 11 to 4 is when they're doing this.
That's prime time.
You know, and it may be, you know, with as supplies last, is that what they say?
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to get there a little earlier maybe. If you show up at 3, like, yeah, I'm here for the, I don't know if they'll, don't know, maybe they do, I'm just saying maybe not.
All right.
Let's get to Greg here.
I can totally get all about that. And if you're from the area or not, the Goo Goo Cluster is the first retail manufactured candy that had more than one element in it. They had more than just chocolate, just caramel, right here in Nashville back in 1912. There's a little history for you. Now let's get into some weather for you. Taking a look, we have a forecast of a few showers tomorrow morning. This is a brand new look at it. This just came in a little while ago, and it's not putting down as much rain for the morning hours as it was looking like it might, even just 4 hours ago. We'll take it. However, it now for the late morning and early afternoon pushes a little bit more down toward the south. So if you're planning on being outside between, I would say, 11 o'clock and then 1 or 2 in the afternoon, you might catch a stray shower. This is still holding, but look at how close this is. 1 a.m., Clarksville seeing some showers and storms. This is tomorrow night. Now we're talking about a forecast that's going to give us the possibility Saturday night, Nissan Stadium could be seeing some lightning at the very end of the concert. I want to stress could, because these models have been kind of bouncing back and forth. But daylight hours for tomorrow, Nashville, 11 a.m. through around 2 p.m. There could be a few pop-up showers. No severe weather, no strong thunderstorms.
Steer clear traffic gets us out to I-24 Haywood Lane. That's where we're dealing with a crash on the shoulder of the road there. So if you got to make your way out and about through the Antioch area, you're in good shape. TDOT is there along with the Tennessee Highway Patrol helping out motorists there on the shoulder of the road. This is really the only thing we're working on that we can see anywhere with our cameras. We were running into another problem on the other side of the state here, Clarksville. On that drive down through Pleasant View, a bit of a slowdown there because of a crash. Still around 68 minutes on that drive, so you can use Highway 41 as a good way to steer clear. As you can see, it is wide open and green.
Just about a minute before 8 o'clock right now, Hall of Fame rock and roller John Bon Jovi and his bandmates celebrating the grand opening of their brand new Broadway bar. They called it JBJ's, and it is in the heart of all the CMA Fest action
Really
right
is.
now.
Could not ask for a better location for them. Right there in the old Merchants restaurant located on the corner of 4th Avenue and Broadway. Now, this new bar features 5 floors, okay? 3 stages and 2 different rooftop bars overlooking different parts of Broadway.
I'm interested to see how they renovated the inside of Merchants.
Yeah.
You know, Merchants was iconic in the way that it looked and felt.
Absolutely.
Thinking about that black and white checkered floor and stuff. And yeah, I'm interested to go in and check it out. Lead singer John Bon Jovi says that his inspiration for all of this really brought about a renewed appreciation for making music. If you want to read more about it, we've got the story posted now at fox17.com.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News This Morning, fitness events at the CMA Fest today. Fox 17 News, Karen Aguilar, live downtown with more on what you can expect.
Little something for everyone, it sounds like. We'll give you the forecast to work you through it, and we'll talk about not just there, but other things you can do around town to maybe escape the chaos. You got both coming your way in the forecast.
And speaking of chaos, not too much of it out there on the roads right now. That's good news. We do have this minor crash on I-24 at Haywood Lane. We'll get a closer look and see whether anything else is popping off here to kick off your 8 o'clock hour.
Ready, set, go on your Friday morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning, just after 8 o'clock. I'm Justin McFarland.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We've got you covered live through 9, and we begin with our top story this hour, and it is the update to the breaking news this morning. We've now learned 2 people are hurt after a crash involving a cement truck on Rosa Parks Boulevard, happening near Jefferson Street and Rosa Parks right around 3 o'clock this morning. Metro Police confirm an SUV may have run a red light and then crashed into that cement truck. The drivers of the cement truck and the SUV both went to the hospital. They are expected to be okay.
Well, also new this morning out of Antioch. That's where we are following the latest involving a fire that happened at a house. According to the Nashville Fire Department, that fire broke out around 3:30 this morning there in the Antioch area. It started in a garage at a home there on Well, okay, no injuries have been reported here at this particular moment. We'll continue to provide you more details. This was on Countryside Drive there in Antioch is where I was looking for. Countryside Drive is where that fire took place, or right off of the Una Antioch Pike area. Again, nobody hurt, but the house could be a total loss.
Another big story happening today, CMA Fest. We've got day 2 underway here in just a couple of hours. And at least for a part of the day, you could ditch the boots and pick up a yoga mat. Fitness taking front and center stage right now as part of CMA Fest.
Let's get out to Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar, who's live, standing by perhaps with a personal trainer, ready to get into some of the details.
Got it. Yeah, I was going to talk to a personal trainer, but unfortunately he had to get to teaching in this class. But I can tell you about Well, look at that, Justin. We did end up talking to a personal trainer after all. And so this event is going to be going on until Sunday. Fitness class starts at 8 a.m. every day for about an hour. Reporting live here in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
And I knew you could find a way to make it happen. All right, thank you so much.
It worked out after all.
So we wanted to hear from you. How many days do you plan on going to the CMA Fest? Now that we've shown you all the things happening down there between goo-goo clusters and biscuits and free yoga and things like that, still around 93% of you is like, yeah, I'm not going down there.
You know what, though? That 1%, or the 3% who said they're going to go for one day makes me think of our friend from Gallatin we met in the last half hour.
Gallatin in Cincinnati,
yeah. So we've got a local lady from Gallatin who's like, yeah, I love it. I'm coming back for another year, and she's just going for one day.
Yeah.
She said one day is it for her.
Going to see Breland.
And then she's going to the lake tomorrow. Great choice. Another great choice whenever we're looking at things to do around Nashville other than CMA Fest. We've got the Sounds at home.
Yeah, so still downtown adjacent. Now, again, if you're here and you're visiting, this is not going to keep you away from all of it. It'll keep you a little less close to it. But game tonight, fireworks after the game, perfect baseball weather. And that, just north of town in Germantown, 83 degrees at 6 p.m. So first pitch just after that at 6:35, 75 degrees at 8. And then 10 o'clock, 62 degrees. So yeah, maybe you want to even go downtown and you can snag a ticket afterwards and just head just past Bicentennial Park, hang a right, and then there you go. Beautiful ballpark, too. Taking a look here. All clear when it comes to our code red threat level. Just tracking a couple of thunderstorms for Saturday night into Sunday and the impact those could have to the concert at Nissan Stadium tomorrow night. And we'll definitely make sure we dive into that. Just know that when you can have the sunglasses out and you do stay all clear, that means good things are ahead. Low humidity. Current temperatures on the right side of your screen. They'll be there all the way through 9. We're talking about 60s and 70s right now on our way to the 80s this afternoon. I'll give you your 7-day forecast. Not going to hide it from you. Why would we do that? 83 degrees today. We'll go for 84 tomorrow, 81 degrees on Sunday, and we keep the 80s going all the way into next week. So no really hot days ahead of us. And again, the next thing we'll do is time those storms out for you coming up in your Code Red forecast.
8:06 is the time. Let's talk about your steer clear traffic at I-24 Haywood Lanes. You make that drive out there this morning. We're doing okay. We do have a car on the side of the road that just couldn't go any further. TDOT is there. So is the Tennessee Highway Patrol. They're there as well, talking to that driver and making sure that everything is okay. Minor delays at best, but not causing huge delays coming down from that area here. Things starting to clear up a little bit coming down from Clarksville. Still around 68, 65 minutes perhaps coming in from Clarksville this morning. We do have a crash there along I-24. Best way to steer clear is Highway 41, runs right alongside.
At 8:06 right now, Tennessee State University hoping to have a better plan to deal with housing problems that we've seen in the past for students. School officials giving a report to new board members in a meeting that lasted 6 hours.
I've got the story coming up here for you in a moment, and it also details why they are changing their policy towards students and why they want to get their application in on time this year.
Nearly 22 million children living in America rely on schools for their meals. Fox 17 News and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, are partnering.
8:09 is the time. Last year, Fox 17 News brought you lots of stories about housing problems at Tennessee State University. The university had lots of their students staying off campus at hotels because they were just simply out of space on campus. But this year, school officials say they are hoping to get completely out of the hotel business, and they're also changing their policies. So if you're planning to go to TSU this fall, listen carefully.
The thing that we're doing differently is we're not going to say anybody who shows up on the last day, we're going to guarantee them housing. We have a cutoff time. We want to make sure we don't put the university in financial strains in terms of just trying to run out and grab more housing. We have a plan. We're going to work those numbers, and that does not include a hotel right now.
So you say things have normalized. So normalized meaning that you'll always need the House of God in Jefferson Flats as part of the housing plan?
Well, yes, and yes, I think so.
So they were talking about the House of God in Jefferson Flats. That's where some of the students are going instead of hotels. TSU is breaking ground on brand new housing. They've got plans for a $180 million dorm that will be home for 719 students. They are planning to break ground on that later this month, but that dorm will not be ready until 2026. A developing story out of Robertson County. That's where power has now been restored to more than 1,000 people after a crash. According to Smoky Barn News, a commercial vehicle overturned on Mount Zion Road at Washington Road just before 2 o'clock this morning, and it took out power for a large amount of people. The Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation says nearly 1,300 people lost power after that crash for a few hours. According to their website, all power has now been restored to customers.
Coming up in your forecast, a lot happening here around town this weekend. You've been hearing about it all morning. We're going to work you through each day. They're a little different when it comes to heat, humidity, and shower chances. The full timeline coming your way.
Steer clear traffic gets us out to 24 at Haywood Lane in Antioch. We've got the very latest on that drive coming up in a few.
Hello! CMA Fan Fest. How's everybody doing?
Well, 8:14 is the time. In entertainment news, Dolly Parton announced a series of new projects, including the new downtown hotel that she's going to be opening up. She made the big announcement at the CMA opening festivities just yesterday.
And honestly, the hotel is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to new projects. Here is Fox 17 news anchor Scott Couch to tell us more.
How big is Dolly Parton? This line started forming hours before she took the stage this morning at the Music City Center.
Hello! CMA Fan Fest. How's everybody doing?
The woman knows how to make an entrance. And Dolly also knows how to market herself, using her CMA Fest platform to announce a new Broadway musical she says will make fans laugh and cry.
And that musical is going to be called Hello, I'm Dolly. And it's going to come out in 26. And I've written a whole lot of original songs for it, as well as all the hit songs that you know.
That would be enough for most stars, but Dolly is also launching a new line of wines this month, beginning with a Chardonnay and a new cookbook with her sister Rachel. But the biggest announcement is her plan to open a new downtown hotel and museum in the old Baker Donaldson building at the corner of 3rd and Commerce.
And we were just looking at the property, and we were walking through, and there was an empty room, and there was a table over on the side, and of all things, my book, The Song Teller. And I thought, why in the world is that just laying over there? And sure enough, we thought, well, that must be a sign, so we're going to call it Song Teller.
Dolly's appearance included a question and answer session with former Miss USA Rachel Smith, who's now the weekend host of Entertainment Tonight. Dolly said fans are always asking what she's doing, and she's clearly been saving up so she'd have some good stories to tell.
What a neat life and road she's been on. You know, on top of all that, Dolly is also working on a new album and a docu-series with her extended family.
Thanks to Scott Couch with that report, by the way.
Let's send it over to Greg at 8:16. Talk about the weather. All right, so Dolly, yesterday morning, we've got yoga to kick off this morning.
Hey,
and then,
why not?
I know, the gates open in a little less than 2 hours now.
Yeah, a little less than that than the stages all day long. Today will be much more comfortable than yesterday. So say you went out yesterday and halfway through the day you just kind of cashed it in because the heat and the humidity got to you. That's not the case. This time around looks great. So what to wear? Well, I would always go with light clothing, but wear some summer clothes still. It's not going to be abrasively hot. It's just going to be comfortable. Some sunglasses and some good walking shoes, because even though all those stages are downtown, if you haven't actually gone stage to stage before, and there's a little bit of a haul to get from one to the other depending upon where you're going. Taking a look out the door, our temperatures have already been climbing. Maybe you're grabbing an Uber or you're getting the old school taxi in the driveway coming in. 73 degrees at 9 o'clock, 77 at 10, 79 degrees at 11 o'clock. Or maybe it's just your typical Friday and you're getting ready to head to work, or you want to... Thanks, camera. Well, apparently my camera's going to CMA Fest too. When we get that back later on, you never know what you're going to get. Oh, and it's Friday too, so it's just taking the day off. Here we go. Feature track for today. That was all of it. That was today in one click. Sunshine the whole day. Now we are going to see our temperatures in the low to middle 80s, but that humidity non-factor is going to be very nice. This is new this morning. You're only getting this here right now because this is a new update we have to the forecast. Everyone else is still playing the pre-recorded stuff. We've got an 11 a.m. shower tomorrow morning that is possible in the Nashville area. Continuing our way into the overnight hours of Saturday into Sunday, the possibility of a few thunderstorms getting close to Nashville right as things are wrapping up at Nissan Stadium for the concert. So keep that in mind. There's no guarantee that we do get a storm that pops up that time, but the timeline's pushing it real close to it. They do have a lightning policy in place. Everyone will be safe, and make sure that you're following the clear bag policies and what you can and can't take everywhere you're going this weekend. You don't want to lose your stuff just because you weren't paying attention. 83 degrees, temperature later today. We'll stay in the low to mid 80s both days on Saturday and Sunday, and those are the only two real rain chances we've got right in the middle of the afternoon tomorrow for an hour or two, and then overnight Saturday night into early Sunday morning.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about here to the very latest happening at I-24 Haywood Lane. As you make that drive in from the Antioch area, you can see where the crash is on the shoulder. TDOT is there, so is the Tennessee Highway Patrol dealing with the leftovers of a crash there. They're waiting on a tow truck, I assume, at this point, because they just haven't moved at all, sitting there at that location. Overall drive times look like this. Clarksville coming in at 64 minutes. Murfreesboro, 57 minutes. Franklin, not bad, 29 minutes. There from the south side.
8:19, Fox 17 is giving you a chance to get 2 tickets for Brew at the Zoo. Friday, June 14th at the Nashville Zoo. You can enjoy the animals, the live music, the local food trucks, and of course dozens of craft beers. This is an after-hours event. Scan the QR code on your screen right there to get your chance to win 2 tickets. This is a 21 and older event, so unfortunately you can't take the kids with you. Message and data rates apply. If you want complete contest details, head to fox17.com/contest, and good luck.
In Operation Crime and Justice this morning, Metro Police are still searching for a missing woman. She's been missing now for 42 years out of Nashville. We're talking about Veda Lou Powers, who disappeared back on May the 26th of 1982 after dropping her kids off at daycare.
Yeah, she took her sister to work that morning. Police say the 29-year-old Miss Powers went to work at St. Thomas Hospital West that day. Police say she told her sister she was going to go home, and then no one ever saw her again. A few days later, Miss Powers' abandoned car was found at 14th Avenue South and Edgehill Avenue, 4 blocks from her home. Miss Powers would have been 71 years old today. Police say they are still working this case.
Spring Hill police need your help.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. It's 8:23 right now. Breaking news as Hunter Biden has arrived at a Delaware courthouse for the 5th day of his federal gun trial. Prosecutors right now have 2 witnesses left, an FBI chemist and a drug expert from the DEA. Derek Hines from the prosecution indicated they will likely wrap up the case this morning. Defense attorney Abby Lowell could then make a motion to dismiss, which could take about an hour. The defense would then begin its case. Lowell said that they expect to wrap up fully by late Monday.
8:24 is the time in Operation Crime and Justice. Springfield police are now searching for the man they say robbed a gas station at gunpoint. They say it happened yesterday afternoon. This is inside the Murphy Express gas station. Police say the man on your screen used a handgun, you can see there on the right-hand side, to force a worker to hand over cash. Spring Hill police are asking if you've seen this man or have any information about this robbery, please call the number on your screen.
8:24, and let's take a step back from CMA Fest and just talk about the four-legged friends that we have to feature every morning, because we can't get away from a day without a dog of the day. We've got Gracie, sent in by Donna from Gallatin. Gracie has the ball, has the harness, and we're ready for a good one. Get that leash and let's get going for a walk, because things look really nice this morning. Most comfortable and easiest start we've had so far this week in every weather aspect. No fog, no humidity, nice sunshine, 73 degrees at 9 a.m., 79 degrees at 11, and 82 at 12 o'clock. We love sharing your photos with us. Not even just your pets and dogs of the day, but weather photos, cool things you see around town. You can always share your dog of the day photos, though, with me. The place to go, meteorologist Greg Bovis on Facebook. You find that pinned post, dog's name, maybe where you live, maybe a fun fact. You can see it right here on air. Again, all of the summer clothing for us today. I cannot stress that enough. It's not going to be hot or humid, but dress for comfort here as you're heading out the door. I'll give you one more look at your 7-day forecast to put together the rest of our weekend. We're going to aim for 83 degrees, 84 tomorrow, 81 for your Sunday. Nighttime temperatures, not cold, but cooler than we had earlier in the week. We'll talk about some 60s tonight and 60s tomorrow night as well.
Steer clear traffic at 8:25. This steer clear traffic update is dedicated to one Jennifer Waddell. And let me tell you why. Because this is I-65 at her spot that she's been talking about now for several months. The road is literally coming apart here at I-65 at Trinity Lane. I can't say I've seen this like this a whole lot very often. But this is 65. It's clearly at one of the joints that connect 65 there at the overpass, and people are slowing down to tackle the dip. Watch the dip right there. So if you hit that dip at 70 miles per hour, that's how you can end up with busted tires. And so they are slowly making their way down. The fact that TDOT themselves are zooming in on this.
Look how slow they're going to.
Would make me think at some point they're going to have to come give this some love and attention.
Absolutely.
A little bit later in the day. So when is that going to be? I have no idea. But clearly, you can't say they're not aware about it. They're pointing their camera at it. They're very aware about it. And they need to do something about it there on that north side. Again, 65 making your way into town across Trinity Lane. We'll continue to give you updates on that. Watch the dip.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks for the heads up, too. Nashville SC currently on their international break, so no soccer right now. That means they're doing some other projects and in their spare time helping to clean up the city. The boys in gold teaming up with the Nobody Trashes Tennessee campaign, helping to clean up the community around, you might have guessed it, Geodis Park.
Wow.
Yeah, their next match, by the way, set for June 15th against the New York Red Bulls.
Well, working up a sweat rather at the CMA Fest. Karen Aguilar live downtown.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Happening now on Fox 17 News This Morning. Fitting fitness into your CMA weekend. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar will be live downtown to talk about fitness at the fest.
And it's a nice, cool morning for it, leading to a great day. But we have a few little bumps in the road between now and the end of your weekend. We'll find a little bit of rain and track it for you.
And steer clear traffic gets us out to I-65 at Trinity Lane on the north side of town. Traffic is moving. You can't get by, but we've seen a bit of a slowdown here because of a break in the road, a literal break in the road. They're zooming in on it. We'll give you more details about it coming up here in the next few minutes. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. Last half hour from 8:30 moving on. I'm Justin McFarland. We do begin with CMA Fest as they are now in day 2 of a big event that's going to bring 90,000 people to downtown Nashville. However, there is a stage where you are part of the show. And it's happening right now. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live to tell us about yoga on the plaza, getting set for another day of CMA Fest.
Good morning, Justin. What a great way to enjoy CMA Fest, getting a workout in. And you know what, Jen, and Justin. Erica, one of our anchors, I think she would really enjoy this because she is a fitness queen, and I'm willing to bet that she would be a part of one of these people here who are working hard, getting up early in the morning, putting on their workout gear, and enjoying everything that CMA has to offer. Now, the bigger picture here isn't just a workout class. The bigger picture here is that CMA isn't just about grabbing a cold beer. It isn't just about listening to your favorite country music artists. It's a whole lot more, and people from all over the country, I just spoke to a woman from Maryland, come here to take part in this huge, huge event for this city. Now, unfortunately, this is all sold out, just to show you how popular it is, but it doesn't mean that if you're walking on Broadway or on Representative John Lewis Way near where Fitness at Best is, you can't stop by and look, because we have seen several people smiling, just looking at people working out, getting their blood pumping, and showing you just another aspect of CMA Fest. Now, this fest lasts until Sunday. Today's fitness class, from what I heard, is upper body, lower body, body weight. Sunday might be dance, and it starts at 8 a.m., lasts about an hour. So come on down. If you are not already registered, walk by and just take part in this great way to enjoy CMA Fest. Reporting live here in downtown, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Lots going on there. All right, thank you so much, Karen. Boy, work up a sweat before you go scream and yell at your favorite artists down there, having a lot of fun.
I'm telling you, I mean, I can imagine just the scene right now. Everyone just waiting to get in.
Yeah.
That anticipation, because the gates aren't open yet for most of the things that are going on. You know how you start lining up, you have the little cattle call going on. This is one of those days where we're going to have a much better beginning, middle, and end compared to yesterday. But there you go. That's what Lower Broadway looks like right now. So if you're heading down there later, get ready for it. And if this is your first one, you've not seen anything like it. I can tell you that much for sure. Taking a look, temperature at 74 degrees. It is sunny outside, and it's going to stay that way the entire day. So you want the sunglasses, you want to find the hydration stations, the whole 9 yards today. It's not going to be uncomfortable, but just make sure you're staying ahead of discomfort when it comes to drinking enough water and clothing choices here. Perfect day today. Weekend storm timing. That sounds scary. It's not. There'll be one time frame we're going to look at here that could impact one stage for 1 hour of CMA Fest. So we'll take a look at that coming up in the forecast. Just know that right now we're going to see our temperatures stay a little below average. Average in Nashville this time of the year is 85, 86 degrees. We're lucky if we get up to 84, which is good news for us. We'll look at future track and break down that weekend rain coming up in a few. Right now we'll get back over to steer clear traffic.
Steer clear traffic gets you up and about this morning. We're going to start on the north side, I-65 at Trinity Lane there. We've been watching very carefully here the last few moments as TDOT has focused their cameras in on a bit of a break in the road. It's right at one of the joists there that connects that overpass there at I-65. People are slowing down because there's a dip in it. They had it zoomed in on it a few moments ago so you could really see it, but you can clearly see people slow down in order to deal with it. So if you don't like anything you see here, you can use Ellington Parkway as a good way to steer clear coming in from that north side. Other situations we had around town have largely cleared up. We're going to get you the very latest details on anything else happening out there coming up here in the next few minutes. We have got continuing coverage this morning on crime at short-term rentals. Police say that the latest was a short-term rental in North Nashville. Police say that 7 people there were arrested and charged with gun and drug possession. Now, police say that 7 suspects were arrested back on Wednesday. 3 of those suspects were teenagers. Police also say a complaint led them to a short-term rental where they found at least 6 guns and 6 different types of narcotics. Police say that one of the suspects was a felon and took off running when officers entered the short-term rental unit. But they eventually caught all 7 people and charged them with drug and gun possession. One of the suspects was also charged with evading arrest. Well, Fox 17 News has a long tradition of being involved in our local community and the country music community as well. That's why you'll see one of our, or actually 2 of our favorite people down there at the CMA Fest this year. Our Fox 17 sports director, Joe Jelnick, as well as Jen Waddell, who is not here. She was here a few moments ago. She has left us here a little bit early today because she's going down to the Ascent Amphitheater to get on stage at the Dr. Pepper AMP stage starting at 10 o'clock this morning, so she's got to go get in position. She'll be down there starting at 10, and then at 11 o'clock, our sports director, Jill Jelnick, will join her. So make sure to go down and see the J&J show. Jill and Jen happening at 10 at 11 o'clock down there. They'll be bringing on some of the other folks who've got talent as well, who can sing and stuff, but they're the real stars down there starting at 10 and 11 o'clock this morning. You can go check them out downtown at the CMA Fest. A man is now facing charges of doing burnouts and drinking and driving right next to the CMA Fest. We're going to tell you what police say they caught him doing in just a few moments. Fox 17 News is your only facing charges of driving under the influence, plus reckless driving and driving on a revoked license. It all happened downtown, very close to the area around the CMA Fest. Now, police say that the man right here on your screen is Mark Gist. He was performing burnouts on on 4th Avenue and Broadway. This happened Wednesday night. When police pulled him over, they say he had slurred speech and admitted to drinking alcohol. Police say he was also driving on a revoked license.
8:41 and our forecast here has given us rain, and then heat and humidity all week long. Now the big question is, when can I wash the car and finally get it looking decent again? Well, you can do it today, but I'm going to show you a reason why you might want to wait until after the weekend, because if you park outside, Future Track might not help you out. Today we're going to stay completely dry. This is all of today with one click of the button. Everything looks nice. Now getting us into tomorrow, things are going to change a little bit here. By 6 a.m., a few isolated, very light rain showers begin to make their way closer to us. By 11 o'clock, 11 to 2 p.m., a few green areas are going to show up here on Future Track. Very light rainfall, very quick moving. Don't cancel plans. Just know it could be there for you, especially north of I-40, and then going into Saturday night into Sunday. This is when showers and thunderstorms are going to move in after midnight and track through the first half of Sunday. So car wash, if you're south of I-40, go for it. If you're not, I might wait until next week. Curious question this morning: which of the following is not a primary color? Red, white, blue, or yellow? I'll have the answer for you in about 5 minutes.
Steering clear traffic at 842. Quick look outside at I-440 at I-65. That's where we're dealing with a crash there in that area. Several vehicles on the shoulder of the road. TDOT is there assisting. You can get by, but that outside lane is going to be closed for just a little bit. Maybe 5 to 10 minutes of extra time is all you need, not causing that big of a delay. Let's take a look on the north side. That's where we're seeing our biggest problem this morning. That's going to be I-65 at Trinity Lane. We've got the roadway kind of coming apart at a certain section there. It's going to need some attention from TDOT. We've already shown one vehicle pulled over to the shoulder of the road because of some possible damage maybe from this particular dip in the road. We'll continue to follow things there on that north side. Well, coming up next on Fox 17 News this morning, we are working to keep schools safer, or at least the school boards are. A $90,000 addition courtesy of the Wilson. 8:45 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. We do want to tell you about a silver alert happening in Nashville. The TBI says that they need your help finding this man right here on your screen. He is John Hill Jr. He was last seen on Albion Street around 5 o'clock yesterday. That is located between Hadley Park and Tennessee State University. If you have seen him, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Day 2 of the CMA Fest is already here, and thousands of people are packing downtown to see and hear some of their favorite country music artists. Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse live downtown talking to more of the people who've come from both near and far.
Yeah, that's right, Justin. So we're right near Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, and people are already lined up for SiriusXM's event starting at 1 p.m. And one of those concert goers, we have Ashlyn here. She's coming all the way from Arizona. Ashlyn, we were talking earlier, and you said that this is your second time coming to CMA Fest. What made you decide to come back for more?
I mean, the Nashville area is great, of course, but also all the artists that are here for CMA Fest are amazing. They bring everyone in, so you see quite literally everyone that you want to see here.
Now, I know for SiriusXM's event that they're having right here at Margaritaville, you got Tucker Whitmore, you got Brantley Gilbert, some big names that are performing here starting at 1, ending at 8. Who are you most excited to see?
Probably Adam Doliak and Brantley Gilbert are two of my favorites. I'm excited to see some new artists too, though.
And you're here for obviously the big events, the bigger concerts. Is there a favorite artist that you have that you're really excited to see, you can't wait to see?
Thomas Rhett last night. I mean, I love Thomas Rhett. One of my favorites for sure.
Awesome. Do you think you're going to come back again next year?
Probably. Make it a yearly thing.
Perfect.
Sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, guys. We're live on Broadway here, CMA Fest. There's already people lined up outside of Jimmy Buffett's. People are walking around. It's early. People are ready to have a good time this weekend. Reporting live downtown, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Peyton, thank you so much. In crisis in the classroom, Wilson County Schools investing $900,000 for security film to keep glass from shattering if it's hit by gunfire. Now, on Monday, the Board of Education unanimously approved a bid to get the film for all schools. Lower level windows will get the film as well, and even multi-level schools will get more of that security film on their windows. Now, a district spokesperson says that the film will hopefully be installed at all schools within the next 6 to 8 months.
8:48 our time. Let's do a little schooling here right now. That's going to take you all the way back. Elementary school. Yeah, think color wheel. Which of the following is not a primary color? Red, white, blue, or yellow? And if you're sitting at home on the couch and you are yelling at me and you're going white, there you go. That's true. All the other ones are the primary colors. You can make every other color in the wheel with a combination of them and the other colors they make together. There you are. Here we go. More going on at CMA Fest. This is, again, where we mentioned why Jennifer's not here with us right now, because she is gearing up to help host a stage over here. And here's the lineup at that stage. Maybe you haven't decided where you want to go yet. The Dr. Pepper Amp stage. Right along the riverfront there, kind of by Ascend Amphitheater. It's Ascend Park, right adjacent to it, basically. And look at that lineup. You have people, I mean, far and wide from different versions of country music. You have Uncle Cracker to Wade Hayes to Thompson Square. So she'll be out there from 10 o'clock. And even if you're not going there, this is your daily breakdown for all of the stages today, because they're all so close together that the weather's not going to change a few blocks away. 72 at 9, 81 degrees at noon, 83 degrees at 3 p.m., and 81 degrees at 6. Not a raindrop the entire day, and barely a cloud in the sky for most of it. We'll call today's high 83. Like you just saw, most of our day is going to be in the low 80s, low humidity. Grab the shades. Tomorrow, 84 degrees, the possibility of an afternoon passing shower. Other than that, all the daylight hours that we see until Sunday morning will be dry for us here.
Steer clear traffic at 8:49. Quick look here at I-65 at Trinity Lane. You can watch cars taking on the dip. This is where they've got a joist that's coming apart there at the interstate at 65 Trinity Lane, so heads up. We've already seen one car pulled over because apparently maybe they hit it a little bit too fast, caused themselves a flat tire. They were on the side of the road over there, but you can clearly see people are dealing with that as you make that drive in from the north side, so heads up. You can take Ellington Parkway if you don't like what you see right here. Also dealing with a crash at I-440 at I-65. We've got a crash there on the shoulder of the road. One lane shut down while they deal with that, so heads up. You can just give yourself a few extra minutes. You'll be fine. Well, check this out. An award-winning singer act performing at CMA Fest, and they are acknowledging their Broadway roots. Tiger Lily Gold is made up of sisters Krista and Kendra. They performed at Dirk Bentley's Whiskey Row on Broadway every weekend, and now they're back after winning the ACM New Duo of the Year. They've also received 2 CMT nominations.
To come back here and celebrate with everyone is just so full circle.
The sister duo say their goal is to sell out arenas and become the first sister duo to have a #1 song on country radio. Good luck to those ladies. Well, coming up, a cement truck crashes into an SUV early this morning. All happened at a red light. We're going to tell you what we... Developing this morning, 2 people were hurt in a crash involving a cement truck. This all happened at Rosa Parks Boulevard near Jefferson Street around 3 o'clock this morning. Metro Police tell us that an SUV may have run a red light and crashed into that cement truck. The drivers of both vehicles, that cement truck and that SUV, both taken to the hospital, but they are expected to be okay. Developing news this morning out of Antioch. That is where a early morning fire chewed through a house happened on Countryside Drive down there around 3:30 this morning. The fire seems to have begun in the garage area. So far, no injuries have been reported at this particular moment, but the house may be a total loss.
And here we go, gearing up for day 2 of CMA Fest, or just, what we're starting your weekend. Whatever you're trying to get into, let's make sure you know what the weather's going to give you throughout the rest of this one. There is Lower Broadway, though. If you're going there, first of all, have fun. Second of all, know that it's going to be in the 80s. Know that you still want light clothes. You still want sunscreen, even though it's not going to feel as hot as yesterday did. All those precautions are going to help you out so the end of your day is as good as the beginning. 83, we'll call it for a high temperature. Tomorrow's going to be 84.